बार प्रोजेक्टर पे ब्लू ब्लू करके आ जाए तो एक बार सर कर देना, सरका देना ऐसे।
We will resume the assembly now. Resuming the goal quality education. Any new motions on the floor? Member to my right.
Thank you, Chair, for acknowledging me. So, in 1950s, a study was conducted called this two sigma problem. So, the basic finding or the conclusion of the study was that imagine that there are two inverted U-shaped curves, and one curve shows that what is the average performance of students when they are taught in class, versus the second curve showing that what is the average performance of students when they are taught one-on-one. Okay, and it was found that the performance of students who were taught one-on-one was 2x better than the performance of students who are taught in class. And this problem is called the two sigma problem. Now, back in 1950s, there was no facility to enable one-on-one education to all the students. But now we live in the age of AI and automation. So, what I would like to suggest is there are various GPT 3.5 and and GPT 4 softwares that we can enable school students and college students to use. One such being Khanmigo. And what Khanmigo does is Khanmigo assists students and teachers, and it can collaborate with students and teachers rather than substituting their efforts. And thus, what Khanmigo would do is, if you are working on a maths assignment, it will tell you the method to use. If you are reading an essay, it will tell you what could be the tonality or the hidden meaning behind the character. So thus I would like to promote the usage of GPT-4 softwares.
Okay, so you would like to use GPT
for students and teachers in schools and colleges,
which will enhance the quality education.
Yes.
Any points in support? Any points in support of the motion? Yes, Anurag.
Thank you for acknowledging me, Chairperson. Yes, I would agree on the point that she is telling that the use of GPT-4 will be a very improvement to the quality education that we are providing in the world today. GPT-4 is known for its precise knowledge that it is given. Yes, we can't research on like psychological facts and all, but the subject that the GPT teaches is very accurate and it is like combination of all world knowledge. So if we try to aware students that GPT-4 can be used for obviously competitive exam purposes, but not for many purposes like psychological fact. But yes, in colleges we can use GPT-4 that will be helpful for teachers and students as well. That was my point.
Any points of contradiction? Heard a lot of bands. Why are there no lakas in the air? Sweetie.
Speaking of the inculcation of ChatGPT or any other AI bot, we've already seen that a lot of us, I mean, how many of us in this room do? All the members, most of us use GPT at the moment. But do we really think that it's precise? No. Along with that, we also have tools now wherein we are told that you are not allowed to use ChatGPT in class and the teachers actually run through Turnitin, and which is another app which checks AI plagiarism. So I personally feel that rather than using it as a tool, it's actually being misused as a way to get out and just get into.
Any other points of contradiction? Member, 2 minutes.
One point I would like to add is that thank you for acknowledging me, Chairperson. One point I would like to add is the member told one point that one-on-one education has towards more graph so, but the things which we can learn except for the books and except for the teacher teaches us, the things which we learn in our own mind, which we experience with our own self, cannot be learned on one-on-one sessions. For example, this debate or this session can also be held one-on-one with the chairperson and the member, but it is not because it is a learning experience for everyone, and that cannot be possible in one-on-one sessions.
Any emotions on the floor? You want to answer?
Yes, you can answer.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Member. So I do agree that one-on-one sessions cannot substitute such assemblies. But there's a place for both of these. Like for example, if you like a particular debater, first of all, you may try to interact in this assembly. But if that is not possible beyond the limit, what you may do is you may interact with him or her in the corridors or when you are having your lunch, breakfast, etc. So what I'm trying to say is there's one place for classroom interaction, but since a lot of students are shy or they hesitate to voice their opinions in classroom, what they can do is they can reach out to GPT, okay, and that can help them resolve even the dumbest of queries that they have. Okay, it is in addition to the use that we already have and not in substitution of it. Thank you.
Points in contradiction. Bharat.
Hello. Thank you for acknowledging me, Chair. So, as our co-member said, first of all, as she said about the problem or raise the motion, so as a MY member, how are we going to like give one-on-one sessions? Are we personally giving, will be giving them one-on-one sessions, or as a member, how will we tackle this problem? And the second thing is, if what if the student starts misusing GPT? What if some basic problems which he should solve by should get solved by himself? What if he goes to GPT and solve this problem, get solved this problem by this GPT? So it will decrease his creativity level as well if he use GPT and education.
Any more points in contradiction? Sanju.
Thank you for acknowledging me, Chair. So, as my fellow assemblymate said that it's going to be a huge online platform. So, what about the exposure and overcoming the fear among us? There is no communication in life, right? Chatting with it's literally like you're chatting one on one. Am I right? So, what about the networking skills? आप अगर डरते हो तो हमेशा डरते रहोगे वन ऑन वन में there is a way that will never overcome the fight, right? So, yeah, that's my point.
Member, would you like to reply?
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, members. So first of all, to answer your question, you had asked, will we...
Please reply to your-
Okay, first I'll reply to you. You said that yes, if we are afraid of public speaking, we'll always be afraid of public speaking and we'll not be able to express ourselves in such social settings. Okay, but you know what? Personally speaking, as a student, I've always been curious. I have more curiosity, more questions and opinions than the rest of the class, and because of which, what happens is my classmates always complain to me that, Gavi, can you please shut up? Okay, can you please keep your opinions, keep your questions to yourself, or rather, even sometimes, even teachers have asked me that can you please come back to the staff room and ask your questions to us personally. Okay, so to avoid that and to encourage curiosity, which is like a pillar of education, what we can do is we can enhance, we can supplement the human resources already available with this GPT software. Okay, I am not asking to replace human resources, I am just asking to supplement them, okay, to strengthen them even further. That is your answer. To come back to your question, you said that who will be giving the sessions? No, we aren't going to give the sessions. All I'm saying is probably we'll hire these softwares and we'll provide them to schools and colleges so that students have access to it. And also, with regards to that creativity related point, GPT-4, especially that used by Khan Amigo, is not a substitution app. Okay, it is not like ChatGPT wherein you feed one query and you get an answer. What it does is basically, if you are on step 1 of a mathematical problem, it will give you step 2. Okay, it will probably give you the method. It will try to understand what you are trying to do rather than substitute your effort. Okay, thank you.
So here I would like to say 2 points.
You need to ask the chair. Session was not open for debate. You can sit down. Any more contradictions on the floor? Last contradiction. Navam.
Thank you, Chair, for acknowledging me. So I think teaching children how to use ChatGPT, if we teach them properly how to use it, they are just not going to stop at solving problems. They are going to be if they have projects, if they have assignments, they are just going to put it over there. It will give them an answer and they just copy that. So somewhere it will kill their creativities. And the second point is that if we are using ChatGPT for solving problems for the children, won't it cause unemployment for the tuition teachers for the classes?
Any motions on the floor? Kartik.
Thank you, Chair, for having me. So basically the motion I want to present is मुंबई में और मुंबई के आजू बाजू के जो लोकल एरियाज है मतलब जहाँ पर अभी भी डेवलपमेंट हुई नहीं है वहाँ पर बहुत सारे छोटे स्कूल्स है मतलब जहाँ पर ट्राइबल जो लोग हैं उनके बच्चे जाते हैं जहाँ पर बहुत छोटे स्कूल है जैसे कि 300-500 बच्चों का वो स्कूल है तो वहाँ पर हम प्रोजेक्टर एंड व्हाइट बोर्ड प्रोवाइड कर सकते हैं जिससे प्रोजेक्टर से जो विजुअलाइजेशन की जिसके थ्रू लर्न होते हैं बच्चे उससे लोग लर्न कर सकते हैं.
Any points of support? Member Perry. Thank you, Chair, for acknowledging me. I would like to what he said. I would say that teachers training program what is crucial because in slum areas and in rural areas, what we majorly have seen is that students coming to schools, the teacher even don't know what exactly the subject is all about.
the teacher herself or himself is not aware of the subject, then how she or he is going to teach the children? So that's my point. So we have ensured that government is making, they are passing on the policies and schemes, but what is lagging is its implementation and administrative machinery that is failing here. This is what I would add. Thank you. Any points in support? Good.
थैंक यू फॉर एक्नॉलेजिंग द चेयर. सो हम लोग यहाँ पर बेसिकली करने ही वाले हैं कि इस मोशन में हम लोग क्या करेंगे, जो भी स्कूल्स जो आउटस्कर्ट्स ऑफ मुंबई में या लेट्स से इन मुंबई एज वेल, जो मतलब मेन पार्ट ऑफ मुंबई है, वहाँ से थोड़े से दूर है, बाहर है, वहाँ पर अगर वो स्कूल अगर डेवलप नहीं है तो हम लोग वहाँ पर प्रोजेक्टर रखेंगे और प्रोजेक्टर सप्लाई करेंगे सो दैट कि जो छोटा बच्चा है वो विजुअलाइज करके पढ़ सके और वो अपने इमेजिनेशन को एनहांस कर सके उसी चीज को. अगर हम लोग इस प्रोजेक्ट की कॉस्ट की बात करें तो एज आवर को मेंबर्स इन बिफोर लर्न सेड कि हम लोग डिजिटल स्पेस प्रोवाइड कर सकते हैं. तो उसमें क्या होता है कि दे आर वेरी एक्सपेंसिव, बट हमारे जो प्रोजेक्टर्स है, इफ यू टॉक अबाउट प्रोजेक्टर, अ डिसेंट प्रोजेक्टर, सो इट कम्स अंडर द कॉस्ट ऑफ 6500 दिस जेब्रॉनिक्स प्रोजेक्टर. एंड अगर हम लोग के उसके लिए स्टैंड भी चाहिए और अगर स्क्रीन भी चाहिए सो इट विल टोटली कॉस्ट अराउंड 9000. और अगर हम लोग ये लेट्स से इफ आवर बजट इज 50000 or 60000, then we can provide 6 to 7 projectors to 6 to 7 different schools and it will impact more lives. And अगर हम लोग को और भी कट डाउन करना बजट, सो अब मिनी प्रोजेक्ट कैन बी taken into consideration where
I understand your emotions. Please be patient. Please conclude soon.
so if we have good budget, so we can take a projector which can cost around 6500. और अगर हमारा बजट और भी कम है so we can take a projector which can cost around 2500. तो ऐसे हमारे पास क्या होगा कि हम लोग डिफरेंट स्कूल्स में बहुत सारे प्रोजेक्टर्स दे पाएंगे और वहां से स्टूडेंट्स की लर्निंग को एनहांस कर सकते हैं. क्योंकि वीडियोग्राफी देखने के बाद स्टूडेंट के माइंड में वो चीज बैठ जाती है. बुक्स पढ़ने से हमेशा जरूरी नहीं है कि वो चीज याद हो जाए.
Thank you. Point of contradiction. Ishan.
Thank you, Chair. So, as you said that we can put projectors. So, will they not sell the projectors? Because in rural areas, they do sell the projectors. They want that money. Education से उनको कोई पता नहीं. They want money. They sell the projector. They learn something. But maybe they'll put a movie on that and they'll start a install a game.
Any more points of contradiction?
Thank you, Chair, for acknowledging me. As my co-delegate said, we want to give a projector to the rural areas where they do not have schools. Before giving the projectors, they have to have basic education. What is the use of giving projectors to them? We have to have basic facility of education so that they can study.
Any more points of contradiction? Asmit.
Thank you for acknowledging me, Chair. So, if the question is of audiovisual learning, why not phones? Phones and internet have reached every corner of our nation. So, spending so much money on computers is not just worth it. We need to guide them how to learn it, from where to learn it, and provide quality content, not quality materials. The quality materials are already with them.
Are there any points in support of the motion? In support of the motion. Ishan.
I would like to add on to this point, my friend's point.
Ishan, he is contradicted. No, support the motion. Himanshu.
Thank you for acknowledging me, Chair. So, one of the very underrated way of improving the quality of education, what we can say is improving the infrastructure. So, many times we think that changing the content is only the way we can change the quality of education, but it's not true. We also need to change, or we can say improvise the infrastructure through which students are learning. And here the point which was raised was to give projectors to the schools which don't have that good of an infrastructure. So here what we are talking about is to improve the infrastructure of the schools where the infrastructure is not that great and which will help in the learning of the students.
Thank you for acknowledging me, Chair. The motion I would like to produce to all of you is, yeah, I came across a device known as Smarton. It is a device for visually impaired that helps them to read, write, analyze data. It has its own software for phones that gets connected to the device and receives the data. It can also clarify the object, what object is in front. It can also tell that what object is coming from the background. That at least it can give partial vision to the blind. And one more thing, this this is a project which is not ongoing, but it is concluded by the government and has been already produced in the Blind Association of Ahmedabad. And this will help visually impaired to learn properly. Because what I came over, I attended a session for them. They cannot speak fluently like us because the grammatical language that we use, they cannot learn that. The visually impaired or the people which cannot learn.
So what is your proposal, member?
My proposal is that we contact the dealer and we can distribute these devices to the people in need who want to study and who are blind.
Do you have an approximate idea of how much this device costs?
Yeah, this device costs 1,000 rupees. It is a really small device. It gets attached to the lens which you wear, and according to the orders we get, we can also reduce the prices.
Got it. Do you have a manufacturer of where we could, provide these and distribute these?
Yeah, first of all, we can approach the blind association schools in Mumbai, and therefore we can advertise it to other schools.
Any points of support? Points of support? Tisha.
So, thank you for acknowledging, Chair. As we know that disability in India is very taken as a taboo. So people don't give respect. They don't know how to learn, read. And because of this device, even the blind can partially see and he can read, learn and do everything he wants to. At least he can be independent from that, right? So it is very useful for us because education in India is now growing, and economy because of this also will grow. Exactly. So this will help us also in modernization, industrialization, as well as globalization. So,
Any other points of support? Any points of contradiction? Any new motions on the floor?
सर यहाँ पर
Member to the right.
इसके टेबल पर देखो मेरी है ना कॉल मी
thank you for acknowledging me, Chairperson. Providing young people with essential knowledge about reproductive health, relationship concern, and sexual behavior, like giving the knowledge of sex education.
Any points in support? Points in support? Sanju? Thank you for acknowledging me, Chair. So, as she said, sex education, I personally think it's one of the most necessary type of education learning that should be included in our daily curricular activities. Because these days, teens hardly have an idea of what is consent and what is right or wrong. So, I think they should be educated well enough to at least understand what they are going through and what they are taking up for. So I think I completely support the motion. Thank you, Chairman. Any other point of support? Member to my right.
Thank you, Chair, for acknowledging me. So what I would like to say is, recently I was watching a TEDx talk, which surprisingly, I believe, the speaker pornography has become one of the main means of educating oneself about sex education. And which is so sad because pornography could be harsh, it could be crossing the line, and as she rightly said, it can also be non-consensual. So what we have got to do is we have got to introduce these subjects right from the secondary school level, so that people in their teens understand that consent is important, and although what is good touch bad touch, healthy relationships, etc.
Any point of contradiction? Any point of contradiction? Himanshu.
Thank you for acknowledging me, Jay. So my concern was that it is very hard to change the current going curriculum, or what we can say is our education system. Many people have tried before. So my question is, how as a student can we bring this change in our education system?
The member who raised the motion, would you like to answer this?
Reading awareness, promoting programs we can do that. और like पहले इन लोगों ने किया है तो अभी भी कर सकते हैं ना, ट्राई कर सकते हैं ना एजुकेट करने के लिए यूथ को.
We have a proper plan of action, you see.
No, but providing awareness and उनको ना पहले से एक से पहले लाइक फिफ्थ सिक्स में लाइक मेरे को मैं सीबीएसई बोर्ड में थी तो मेरे को फिफ्थ सिक्स में ये सब आया था रिप्रोडक्शन प्लांट्स एंड एनिमल्स. तो उसमें हम लोगों को बताया था कि ये ऐसा ऐसा रहता है, तो लोगों को इंटरेस्ट रहता है कि पूछने का किनको टीचर्स को, बट टीचर्स इज लाइक पढ़ाना है, पोर्शन खत्म करना है, तो उन लोगों को नॉलेज नहीं है. एज नेटफ्लिक्स पे सीरीज भी है सेक्स एजुकेशन करके, उसमें वो लोग प्रोवाइड लाइक बताते काउंसलिंग करते, तो वी शुड ट्राई दिस इन इंडिया.
Any points of contradiction? Himanshu. The session is now open for debate.
Thank you for acknowledging, Chair. So the same question arises again, like how can we do? Like, do we have to go on a strike to say government ki change the education policy or something else? Or like, what kind of a project we can do to implement this change in our education?
Thank you for acknowledging me, chairperson. So मेरे को नहीं लगता कि स्ट्राइक वाइक जाना चाहिए. लाइक एक फिफ्थ सिक्स स्टैंडर्ड या आई डोंट नो द एज, बट वही टाइम पे तुम लोग एजुकेट करोगे, उन लोगों को पहले से बताओगे एंड दे विल नो कि हाँ अगर मेरे को इस पे डाउट है कि ये ऐसा ऐसा है कि नहीं है. आई डोंट नो, लाइक क्वेश्चंस रहते हैं लड़कों को भी थे मेरे एज पे, लड़कों के इसमें लड़कियों को भी हो गए, लड़कों के तो लाइक वैसा वैसा तो रहता है. तो आई वाज नॉट कि हाँ मैं मेरे मम्मी के पास, आई वाज नॉट इतना ये ना, तो टीचर्स हो सकते हैं, सब्जेक्ट्स रिलेटेड हो सकता है.
Okay, both the members can sit down. Any more motions on the floor? Sustainable projects, folks, something that will have a long-lasting impact. Suri.
Thank you for acknowledging, Chair. I would like to begin with the fact that before thinking of any sustainable project, we actually have to bring awareness about it. And over here, we're talking about the underprivileged society and whatever we need to cater to them in case of education. That all starts from the fact that they should at least know the importance of education and that now it's a necessity and not a choice. So I feel for this, we being the youth, being the loudest people at the moment and being the most effective amongst everyone at the moment, I feel that we should start by going on ground and doing Nukkad Natak. So Nukkad Natak is called a skit. And this, we mainly target people when we act and we tell them the importance of this. And I feel skits are something which will enhance their thinking and it will help them resonate better with our facts and the importance of education. Thank you.
Do you have a plan of action?
So the plan of action is firstly the research wherein we've identified the cases and the places where potentially schooling is not that great, and we go there and we do skits as a team. We go there the members of Mumbai Assembly, and we do those acts.
Any point in support? Any points in support of the motion? Yes, Ashwin.
Thank you for acknowledging me, Chair. So, art forms or advertisements like Nukkad Natak have been are now very rare to see. Therefore, if we do something like that, it would create a lot of attention.
Any points in contradiction? Any points in contradiction? Amen.
Thank you, Chair, for acknowledgement. Do you think doing this all this book and whatever thing is will get you the attention and make people passionate about the education?
So, people would like to reply to this. The debate, the floor is open for debate.
Thank you, Chair. Okay, so beginning with this, of course, skits have really played an important role ever since we started. Now, theatrics has become low-key around the world, but today I feel rather than advertising, it is better that we go there and we are able to resonate better when we're actually with them. When we stand and we're actually there in front of them, we're personally attracted because in a place so underprivileged, they don't even have that entertainment and getting knowledge from that entertainment is something that actually
Do you think there is a whatever the skit or drama or whatever you want to do? Can it get more advertisement than whatever you do in the media or something? In a
how do people reach those underprivileged areas?
Why not? Everyone has a cell phone.
Underprivileged areas, you don't have children going around.
Everyone in the world, everyone in the village or somewhere in the rural areas, they're having a basic cell phone. Without that, there's no person living in India or in the world.
A basic cell phone does not always
Basic
have
cell phone in a
social
sense.
media.
Basic cell phone in a sense, a smartphone. You'll have a smartphone. Even the 50th class student is having a smartphone.
Today, even if we talk about those people, they are already in the urban areas at the moment. Not everyone in the rural areas have it. It's all there.
Over the states, but you have a lot of people are educated more than other states.
In this country, there are so many people who can actually do it online. You have actually seen a learning on their phone.
You have been talking to online classes since our COVID time.
No rural areas.
Folks, I would like you to conclude your points. Amen.
So I would say giving all this kind of things, whatever all these things will not give education to the people. It's better. A lot of people know the education, how we have to educate.
Thank you. Sorry.
I would like to conclude saying that irrespective of how many videos we have around the world, it is the teachers and us ourselves who can actually resonate because
Any new question on the floor? Yes, member to my left.
Thank you for acknowledging me, Chair. We should start a campaign in which we can teach students and other local peoples to use sign language because once I went to Decathlon and there was a person who couldn't hear and I didn't know that because he was looking all well. So I called him twice and he didn't listen to me. At some point, I went to him and I confronted him, and then I knew that he couldn't speak. So I had to use sign language, and then he could understand. So we should teach local people to use sign language because nowadays employment of disabled people is growing. Also in banks, SBI, for example, the SBI bank branch in Bhavir Road, there is a person who cannot see and a person who cannot speak, both present as a manager in the bank.
Thank you, ma'am. Any points in support? Yes, Anurag.
acknowledging me, Chairperson. I will totally agree on that point. As we were discussing on gender inequality, when we were talking about the transgender and we were supporting that they also should get equal rights. So in this case also I would support this that the impairment people who are not able to live in this society should not feel insecure due to because they are not able to hear. They should feel humanity. They should see that humanity. If we will try to speak in sign language, a little hard work if each person in the country will dedicate to it, that impaired person can achieve greater height just because he's got someone at his side. If no one is here to speak to him or motivate him, or there is no one to teach him, because he needs a teacher, he needs a he needs a part. Everyone in his life so he can achieve something. And he is a part of the country, and it's our duty, our responsibility that we perform humanity, and that's my point, and I will be supporting him on this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any more supporting points? Yes, Ma'am.
Thank you, Chair, for acknowledging me. One of my favorite dialogues from the Harry Potter is words are the inexhaustible source of magic. And when we don't convert what we express in sign language, what we do is we deprive them of the joy that they can experience. And many a times when I watch the Republic Day parade, I see that it is being translated to those who are blind and deaf. But the same is not done on a daily basis, because of which those people are deprived of the everyday conversations that we have, be it something that happened in our class, in trains, or any other place. So definitely, it's a great move. Plus, I am someone who believes in the power of words. As it is said that affirmations can help you rewire your brain. And neuroplasticity is one of the qualities of our brain. So yes, words are immensely powerful, and because of which sign language can help. Thank you.
Any contradictions on the floor? Please.
Oh, thank you for acknowledging me, chairs. Firstly, I would like to highlight, let's start focusing more on sustainable permanent impact projects. We have too many awareness projects. I understand awareness is there, it's good enough. But let's try to focus and impact permanently. Let's say construct a washroom. I understand these projects have already been put in. But we need to focus on creating a permanent impact. Awareness sessions are good and fine, but to an extent. And my dear co-delegate, Harry Potter is a fictional book. Words are eventually exhausted.
Yes.
So I think that if we think about it practically, basically we have such a busy schedule that no one will take time to actually go and learn sign language just because they feel like these deaf and blind people should feel included, because we don't get time for ourselves. So how would they take out time to learn sign languages for this purpose?
Thank you, Ruchika.
I would like to invite Harshit Padma to chair with us on the chair table, the former chairperson at Aspire Citizen.
Any questions on the floor? Yes, Ishan.
So thank you, Chair. So as my friend said that teacher training is important. So apart from teacher training, what motivation are we giving to children? Because only the children, teacher comes and teaches, and there are no children. What's the benefit? So there was a scheme of the government, midday meal, but in most of the areas, either it's not working, or even if it's working, the food is third grade quality. So many organizations like ISKCON and other organizations, they provide khichdi, and they are giving it to people there, poor people. So my saying is, apart from teacher training, we can take food from ISKCON, because ISKCON and such organizations have most of the cities in India, and we can connect them to rural areas where such schools and colleges are there.
Please give a plan of action.
as I said, we can connect to ISKCON and then we can ask them to transport the food to the schools or colleges, or we can ask them go have a courier service of the food directly to the rural areas. Because in Mumbai itself, we have 5 to 6 ISKCON temples in the outskirts as well as in the city. So we can easily do that.
Then how do you think this is sustainable?
So till the temple is making the prasad, the khichdi, till that time we can provide it to the schools, right?
How do you think that is a sustainable impact, a long-term impact?
Khichdi is a motivation to the children. So children will be coming to school. And also,
Are you suggesting something like a midday meal?
yeah, similar to that.
Any motion, any members in support of the motion?
Any members in contradiction? Kushagra.
Thank you for acknowledging me, Chairs. My question to my fellow member is just a simple one. How is this related to quality education?
Member, would you like to answer that?
See, the food is giving them the motivation to come to school. That's what the main thing is. Right, and they are also training the teachers. So
Any members in support of the motion? Any contradictions? Member to my left.
I have, thank you for acknowledging me, Chairperson. I would like to ask you a question. ISKCON already supplies the food to the needy people. So why would they become a third party and engage in that? And one more thing, that ISKCON, you were telling that you can get some incentive or anything. It is not even profitable. Actually, ISKCON portrayed that the fund they accumulated, it all went in, and they were actually using their own fund. So it was actually a loss.
Any other points of contradiction? Tejesh.
Thank you for acknowledging me, Chairs. Again, as my co-delegate suggested, ISKCON has its own survey team to find colleges, schools, and schools which are why do we need to do their work? Let's focus on something we can do on our own. Like one of my co-delegates mentioned that this is not a part of quality education. It is. A good food is a good life and a good study. So it is a part of quality education, but ISKCON has its own survey team. We really need not do anything. So, thank you, Chester.
Any emotions on the floor? Member to my right.
Hello, thank you, Chair, for acknowledging me. I would like to propose an idea of a public refrigerator, basically explaining that in many European and foreign countries there is a refrigerator or something there in which a food can be stored, which is maintained and looked after by the neighborhood, which is willing to do it for the needy people.
Once. I speak right. After the motion is said, then you can just ban tips. Clear? Yeah. Continue.
People from around the neighborhood and the locality bring over the leftover food or the food which they do not desire to consume anymore. They keep it there for the needy people. They can come anytime and have those food for themselves. We can implement that at our level in our city.
Any members in support of the motion? Any members in support of the motion? Would you like to explain your plan of action, please?
Yeah, sure, Jen. Plan of action will be to basically set up affordable at this scale, we can buy small fridges and we can through social media we can publicize it that this is some place wherever our offices are or wherever our outlets are that you can come and give food to us. We will store it in our storages, and if any needy person comes to us and requests us for some food, he can choose whatever he wants to take.
Member, can I know how will this help in enhancing quality education? Quality education.
Yeah, just.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah,
any new motions on the form? Asmit.
Thank you for acknowledging, Chair. So the biggest spirit breaking quality education or self-education is audiovisual, lack of audiovisual education material. For example, if I want to study about heart or any other biological, especially biological system, so I would require a thorough 3D model of that organ or a human body to understand. However, such repositories are available on internet. Some are at a cost, and some might be free, but at a lower quality. However, they are not very well advertised, and they have not reached the masses yet. So we can make a video. We can start making a YouTube video series on better, quality education materials. So basically, we will search for such repositories, and then we will bring them into light, thereby helping students and teachers also to teach them.
Please summarize your point.
So basically, bringing 3D animated repositories into light for better reach to students and teachers.
Plan of action.
Plan of action. We'll start researching on such repositories. Then we'll shoot some or we'll just screen record those YouTube videos that how can we find, and then we'll post it on our YouTube channel of NI Watch Papers.
Any points in support of the motion? Any points in contradiction? Number 2, right?
Thank you, Chair, for acknowledging me. So first of all, I would like to highlight that Indian educators are one of the best in the entire world. And if you go on YouTube, you will find foreigners commenting and saying that Indian educators are fabulous. Their conceptual clarity and everything is on point. So I don't think that there is any need to create any new content. That said, what we can do is, I do acknowledge that in Mumbai as well, there are pockets of areas or regions which do not have access to internet or a mobile facility. And for them, what we can do is we can have a moving textbook. Okay, and what I mean by that is we can have a tempo which has television or a large screen installed in it, and we'll be playing these YouTube videos inside. Okay, so that those children can also once in a week, go to those tempos and get access to audio visual means, as you said.
Asmit, would you like to answer me? Yes.
Thank you for acknowledging, Mr. Rai. So I wasn't saying that we should be creating new content. I was just saying that we should make a series of videos where we will be highlighting just the websites and its quality, how quality material is available over there.
Points in contradiction? Isha.
थैंक यू फॉर acknowledging me, chair. क्वालिटी एजुकेशन जाना तो चाहिए, उसके पास वीडियोस बनाओगे जाएगा कैसे अंडर प्रिविलेज एरिया? How will the kid reach there?
So basically, we have passed many motions where we are, spreading awareness, doing workshops. In those workshops, we can, promote such videos, thereby reaching the masses.
But devices.
Isha, would you like to answer the question?
Yeah, I would like to. Thank you for acknowledging. But how will the devices be there for the children? वर्कशॉप्स करोगे तो डिवाइसेस भी तो होने चाहिए. वर्कशॉप्स में सिर्फ एक बार आएगा, रिपीट थोड़ी होगा. फ्यूचर में भूल गया तो क्या? राइट.
Asmi, would you like to answer? The session is now open for debate.
So basically, the device is a mobile phone, and there is already a animation rendered somewhere on cloud computers. So you just need internet to access it, which is very much available in our nation.
रूरल एरियाज में कहाँ से?
It is available.
How is it available in rural areas? झाड़ू के नीचे ना इंटरनेट आएगा.
झाड़ों के नीचे लोग नहीं रहते हैं. So most of very rarely the Indian population lives in forest, except for tribals.
See, in Mumbai there is lot of water. There are lot of water bodies as well. So rural areas as well as water bodies surrounding to them. How do you think they'll get the internet access?
They already have internet access.
Once again, I just want to ask you one question. Based on what topics you are make the content?
Based on what topics? So basically, we will have identify the subjects which are for students who are not very mature, maybe till 12th.
Example, three examples.
3 examples. So mechanics, and then atom physics, and then biology, as I had mentioned earlier.
Any points? Any new points on motion? New points on motion? Any new motions on this one? Please.
Thank you for acknowledging my chairs. So what we can do is we can set up a computer lab in a government school where there is no access to their computers or network, and hire a professional who can teach them every month. Who can teach them classes on C++, Java, and required programming process every month. By setting up a computer lab.
Any points of support? Any points of controversy? Sanjay.
Thank you for acknowledging me, chairs. So you are telling me that to establish a computer lab in villages, right? That means to literally pollute their mindsets as well as city side के बच्चों के mindsets are polluted. Because I can clearly say that जो city के लोग हैं, they are hardly accessing internet for their personal group, and they are accessing content which is not actually required for their work. So we are telling you that that's what we should do for villages as well.
Tesh, do you want to answer the question?
I would like to answer that. I never mentioned villages. I said government schools. There will be teachers who will be teaching them the courses, and they won't be there जो भी देखना है देख लो, जो भी करना है करो. They will be taught courses like a computer class. We will be sitting in a computer lab.
Clear. Any points of support? The delegate on that. Really grateful towards the acknowledgement, Chase. So, don't you think setting up a computer lab in a government college is the work of government and not an NGO? Because if they have to give that specific lab to a government college, the government has to pay for it, not an NGO has to like set up the money. And if they are not doing it, it's the government lacking. So we can, what better thing we can do is to like show them up that you are lacking over here.
Yes. Thank you for acknowledging my chairs. And co-delegate, if government worked perfectly in government schools, we wouldn't be here. Our majority of our projects everywhere else are in government schools and government colleges. We are here to help where government is lacking. We are definitely. I would like to ask you, how would you ask the government to work on the government schools? You said we need to enforce the government to make sure they work on government schools. How would you do that?
Yeah. Do you want to answer to the question?
Yeah.
Really thankful for your acknowledgement, Chair. So first of all, speaking about government colleges, they are actually the property of governments. I don't know which projects are you mentioning over here where you worked on government colleges to like fund them as an NGO. But I don't think it's appropriate for an NGO to fund government. We are a non-governmental organization. We don't get funds from government. If we want to do anything, we can set up our own. For sure, talking about sustainability. So if government is not funding to make a lab, they won't even look for its maintenance, right? And you said you will appoint a teacher and all. Till when you will pay him? Is my question.
Please just give the final conclusion and just close the motion. Thank you for the acknowledgement, chairs. And co-delegate, let me tell you, government schools, let's say they need 10 lakhs. They will send only 5 lakhs. I've been working on schools, they don't send the whole amount. They send the minimal amount for very basic needs. Let's say a wall has fallen. They send them enough money for bricks, but not for the paint. This is how government schools work. Trust me, all government schools work on every single rupee. And especially for a computer lab in government schools, they definitely don't send enough money. You know what, how much they send? They send like 30-40K for one computer for 600 students. My intention is to set up a computer lab. And coming to the teacher question, we will be paying him until the students are trained. Until the students are trained. Because they won't be learning the whole time, right? 3 months, 4 months. As long as it takes for them to learn, the teacher will be paid. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, please. Any new motions on this? Delegate to Mr.
Thank you for acknowledging me, Chair. So we learn more when we travel, right? So I would like to suggest that the underprivileged schools, the schools where people don't provide proper field trips, we should go there. We should collaborate with these schools and organize trips for them and take them and volunteer for these trips. These trips won't be for like 1 or 2 days, but it will be a week trip. And like in my school, in 8th standard, we were like in our curriculum, the topic was Mughal Empire, and we were taken to Delhi. We were shown the monuments, Taj Mahal, and the Lal Killa and everything. And with that, there's a lot of enhancement in our knowledge. And also in the 9th standard, we were taught Buddhism and Jainism. And in 9th standard, we were taken to Pondicherry, Auroville. Now, Auroville is a place where they live by sustainable, they promote sustainable living. And we were taught all of that. We did all these projects with them, we did all these activities with them, which really enhanced our learning. So I suggest we should do.
Summarize it.
Yeah, so basically the plan of action is collaborating with these underprivileged schools and organizing trips for them with a minimal
money we have, and then going with them, volunteering during these trips. Thank you.
Any points of support? Yes, number 9.
Thank you, Chair, for acknowledging me. So I would just like to add to her point because I think not only long trips like which are of a week or so, but also short trips which can happen in a day can be knowledge enriching because there are a lot of monuments in Mumbai as well. Like if you know, 2 to 3 monuments from Mumbai have been acknowledged by UNESCO as well, and about which we know very little. So what I would like to highlight is maybe we can take school and college children over there, and from a historical point of view, we can explain to them how these places are important. Because a lot of us go to VT station, but you know we don't have that aesthetical viewpoint to understand the architecture and the historical viewpoint. So having a guide plus 1 day and long trips. Thank you.
Any points of contradiction? Akshay.
Thank you, Chair, for acknowledging me. I do agree with the saying that the more you travel, the more you learn. But at a point, we have to choose our priorities. I mean, are you going to spend 2 lakhs on a trip, or are you going to spend 2 lakhs on developing this course infrastructure? Yeah, I do agree that the more you travel, the more you learn. But something which you can also do by sharing your experience. Maybe you went on trips. You can take the pictures of, when you went on trip and show to the kids that there's this Mughal empire, or there's this some other tomb of someone, dead queen or dead king. So that's prioritizing our funds.
Disha, would you like to answer?
Thank you for acknowledging me, Chair. You're absolutely right, my fellow delegate. Although field trips enhance education at a very large scale, and I believe it should given some priority because it hasn't been given priority. Like even if you look at local schools, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा they take you to Kidzania, SL World. There is no education in that. You just go for 1 day enjoyment there, right? So even if you're taking them for 1 day trips, which won't take a lot of money, okay? Even if you're taking them for 1 day trips to museums or places where there's not a lot of money taken, that can enhance their knowledge.
Any more points of contradiction? Tejesh.
Thank you for acknowledging me, Chairs. I totally agree with my fellow delegate Akshit Padella. See, there are students who don't have textbooks which explain to them. First, let's get them the textbooks and then let's take them there. And secondly, you say that it's been taken to an amusement park or a snow world is equivalent of asking why people are going to movies instead they should go to documentaries or TV channels kind of thing. Sometimes kids, they are kids. The 1 day of rest from education wouldn't kill them, and it will boost their morale to learn more. And before we focus on larger kids, let's focus on kids who read the textbooks that explain those larger things. Thank you, Chair.
Any new motions on the floor? Yes, number to my extreme left, Kushal.
Thank you for acknowledging me, Chairs. Quality education, I've recently not published yet, but I've written a research paper regarding this. And in the process, I came across a lot of research papers in very highly reputed journals and focus journals, which emphasize the importance of project-based learning. Now, this is a method of teaching which involves creating small groups and assigning them tasks like a project and giving them independence to choose their way of approach to the project and giving them all the resources available. It has been shown that this project-based learning method can improve the creative as well as collaborative skills of the students involved, while also developing their social and leadership skills. I would like to propose that we spread awareness about this to the teachers in colleges so that they can adopt this newer methods of teachings, and this will create a long-term impact, permanent impact, while also being very cost efficient. Thank you.
Can you just conclude your point?
The conclusion is that I would like to promote project-based learning as a campaign to the teachers in all the schools and colleges.
Okay. So any points or something? Any points of contradiction? Disha.
So I'm not contradicting your point. It's basically a question. Thank you for acknowledging this. So one thing is when you're in a group, not every single kid will participate. And how do you make sure that every kid participates in the project?
Do you want to answer? Yes.
If you read about the project-based learning method in detail, this is what it is exactly about. The teachers have to make sure that every kid is participating.
Do you want to answer? Any points of support? Tej. Thank you for acknowledging me, Chess. Before I proceed, I would like to confirm one thing. So your intention is to create a curriculum where there is a specific syllabus for project-based learning, where students can select their projects and it should give them a practical knowledge. This down the syllabus, right? So that I definitely agree with the point, because once we get down to the lab, we don't understand the theory we've studied in the class. So this will definitely boost the teaching, the way the students learn and grasp the knowledge. So thank you.
So I have a question to the delegate member who just said motion. So when you go to any faculty or any teacher and try to explain all this stuff, do you think they will listen to us?
Hello. Yes, so my mentor teacher was actually very accepted to this new project-based learning, because he was aware of this in a proper manner. He has written research papers about this, and he's a communication-based teacher, but he was still accepting of it. I'm not sure about the other teachers because I've not talked to them about it. Also, I would like to just add that the National Education Policy 2020 actually has inherent references to this method, only they have not been implemented.
Thank you. So any new motions on the floor? The member to mention.
Thank you for acknowledging, Chair. Quality education is not just limited to academics, however, sports too. Sports teach a lot of things to us. Therefore, I propose that we should be having inter-school sports event other than cricket sports for better development of students.
So any point of support? The member to mention.
Thank you for acknowledging me, Chair. As we're talking about sports, until school time, we were in a two periods for sports and games. Now, when we have come to college, we are not a single period that is devoted to sports. Our is a physical health not important. It is a responsibility of the college to improve our physical health with our mental health. Because I am not seeing the point that we are getting the physical health plus mental health. We are just getting that depression or the stress of studies, and to deprive that stress, we are not having that physical relief or mental relief that we should get. The counseling sessions that college should attend, we are not having. The sports period that we should have for refreshment, we are not getting it. Especially in college, I have observed it, and it is really regretting, and I want that sports should be enforced in colleges, and yes, I will be on this point.
Any points of support? Ria.
Thank you for acknowledging me. So I believe that we need to have holistic development that is beyond academics. Quality education nurtures our character and life skills. So the plan now is to encourage sports in schools and make, so like we can make a sports field or an athletics track or a football field. So schools which do not have that.
Any points of contradiction? Please. Thank you for acknowledging my chairs. Quarterly, what's your exact plan of action?
So basically, we can arrange for sports events. For once, at least we should try, and then we should.
We need to seek a permission first.
Any points of contradiction? Thank you, Chair, for acknowledging me. I hope you're not having the same biology or the physics which you studied your school, but not in college. I mean, that doesn't really make sense that they're not useful currently. I mean, you don't have the biology which you studied in 10th, and you're not having the same subject in college. That doesn't mean that you don't need biology to survive in life. Actually, can you be more specific? So, what you're mentioning is in school age you had the PT periods or something, but when you came to college, those were removed from your curriculum. So, what you're trying to say is, if physical health is also important, so they should be included. In the same way, you had biology during your school age, but not in the current undergraduation. So, doesn't it also make sense that you can learn on your own and you can spend your own time on these kind of things after your college time? I mean, that's something which depends on the NDC which decides the curriculum. I think you got it.
Anyone can answer to this question. The member to my last.
Speaking of the point which was just mentioned with the example of taking biology, I think it was our choice that we made for college which actually supported the fact that we didn't take biology. But talking of PT or any other extracurricular we did in school, that is something which should always be facilitated irrespective of whatever the age group is.
Any points of support? The member commission.
The point that I took out this topic sport and I supported it, it is not that I thought of it my own or it was my personal desire. I am in a friend circle, I am also a first year, I am also studying in college. And majority of the children, if you take a survey now, if you search on online basis, people need sports to get belief. People have their personal specific sports, someone has to play basketball, someone has to play football. But the college curriculum is not allowing that because the timing is basically from 8 to 4, 6 to 10 to 6. When the student will play at night or at morning, or he will get tired after college and then he will play and remain. The assignments will be remain pending. Is it the solution that we will be talking about? Don't we need sports in it? When we will play? He's telling that we have time. Okay, let's take Sunday. Don't we have to do other courses? Because we need job in future also, no? But a sports, that is a basic human need. When hum jab paida bhi hue the, like we were small, didn't we go down and play? It was a natural habit. We were getting enjoyment. Doesn't we need that enjoyment now? Doesn't we need that mental relief now? That's my point.
Got it. So I want to ask you, imagine there is a college who doesn't have sports cutting. How do you find that college and how do you approach and whom do you approach? And what will be a perfect pitch to ask?
My perfect pitch will be the ones who need it. I need
First question is, how do you identify the college?
How do I identify the college? First thing, the college which have no playground as it was discussed, it will surely tell that there are no sports played in it because colleges are not allowed any sports at all and at campus because someone will get hurt or not. First point is that if we go to colleges, obviously we have to do some hard work. We have student connections. We have many colleges, students attached to our Mumbai Youth Assembly. They can specifically tell, and I am sure, like everyone is familiar, everyone is agreed to the point that sports are not played in the college. Here, Mumbai top colleges are sitting, the students are sitting there, they have their own perspective and they are agreeing on that sports are not played in the college because I am getting that bans. And this is the second point you can tell that yes, sports is being lacking in the college. It is there on the minimum purpose. In my college, it was there, but it was only for 4 days. Thus, in 2 sem, a whole year, 4 days sports is enough. Will we get that healthy benefits in those 4 days? Whether awareness should be spread.
But
Thank you.
any points of contradiction? The delegate to my right.
Thank you for acknowledging me, Chair. I would like to explain why there is no sports importance given in college, and I'm sure there has been discussion on this. From the school times, the sport was inculcated in our curriculum because for the Indian society, it's not very common for parents to think that their kid should be in particular sport or be talented in particular sport. The school forced the kids have some physical time to enhance their physical capabilities and they can communicate with their parents. Why that isn't in the college? Because trust me, from my personal experience, I and my friends bunk a lot of college lectures, and if I get to know that there are sports lectures, there is of course going to be skipped by me. And I think a group of students of age 18 to 19 can well communicate between themselves and go for physical activities. Yeah, and yes, sports is important, but rather than asking the college to inculcate sports, we should create a motion for the students to create better clubs so that people who want to play cricket make a cricket club. Don't go for cricket every day. People who want to play football make a football club. Go to play football. That can be a better implementation. Thank you, Jen.
Points of contradiction. There was a lot of banging, and now there are only 2 placards. Navam.
Well, thank you, Chair, for acknowledging me. As you said, the students should open and make new clubs. But what if the college is only not giving their permission? Because student clubs are only open when the college gives permission to open. And the college doesn't promote sports, then why will it give permission to the students to open sports clubs? Thank you.
Any more points of contradiction? Assistant.
Thank you for acknowledging the chair. So let me make this point very clear that education is not only happening in colleges but schools also. So many colleges are not very helpful with sports. That's the truth. Moreover, if my fellow delegate Sadiq says that if there is a sports lecture and he will definitely bunk it, that's his personal choice. Okay. So majority of the students want to have the sports lecture. Secondly, in schools, we need to focus more in schools as compared to colleges because colleges students are far more mature to understand what are their needs physically. And but for students at a tender age in schools, we should all hold some sporting activities or sporting competitions.
Any points in support of it? Any points in support of the motion? Okay. Any new motions on the floor? Number to my extreme right.
Really grateful towards the acknowledgement, Chair. So I would like to speak about a probable project over here. So first of all, talking about quality education. So education, whenever we speak of education, the first thing comes in our mind is our education system, right? And a great person correctly addressed that there are only 2 lackings in our education system. One is the education and second is the system. So the current education system lacks a lot. Everyone knows it. Everyone talks about it. We government has taken some actions to improve the current education system, but there is no any visible change or any visible satisfactory action taken still to make the quality of the education better. So we can't go and fight the current education system. Neither we can change it. Neither we can make an entire new education system. But I would like to introduce one of the lost gem of our nation, which is not the Kohinoor, it is the Gurukuls. So Gurukuls, in our ancient times we had Gurukuls. Okay, even now we have like around 4,500 plus Gurukuls in our nation. And what my idea is to build a Gurukul. We are not building an entire university. We are not creating an entire new education system. We are building our own Gurukul. We need like it's not. I don't have a very proper plan of action for it. But what we can do is, if this uh, project gets selected, so we can do research, we can do the needy survey, we can do the needy research, and we can make our own small, not so big, not to like cover thousands of students, but if there is a place where they don't even have like any schools or any government schools, so there we can build a Gurukul of our own, and we can like provide them that good quality of an education which our ancient India had. And this can really like start and change the action if these things get like media cover, all the needy media coverage and all after 6 months. This can be self-sustainably growing thing. These Gurukuls can.
Just conclude your.
So my point is to build a Gurukul in a place where there is no education like any ways like I know few places that don't not even any government college.
So do you want to construct a Gurukul? Do you want to run a Gurukul?
Construct and run a Gurukul.
Okay. How like what do you think will be impact?
Impact. First of all, we are constructing and running a Gurukul in a place where they don't have basic education. So instead of putting the students into the current education, which no one believes in, we will introduce them a total new education.
Why people won't believe in it?
I don't know if like how many people over here believe in the current education system. Most of the people say this education system is to build employees and not leaders and not representatives. This education system, that's why we are doing this MY, right? If the education system had the potential to build leaders, why would we do this MY?
Any points of support? Any points of contradiction? Then we'll not remember.
Thank you, Chair, for acknowledging me. So I have a few questions with regards to the motion that my fellow member has proposed. And the questions are, first of all, the ancient Gurukuls had a campus which were green and lush. And as we were just debating about the facility of playgrounds, first of all, how will we carve out such a huge place in Mumbai? Okay, that is the first question. Secondly, in a Gurukul, primarily there is a lodging and boarding facility, which is also lacking in Mumbai. Yes, it is provided in a few hostels, but then the approach is different when it comes to hostels and Gurukul. Okay, thirdly, because India is a civilization. Okay, there is a lot of confusion with regards to from when can we start calling ourselves as Indians. Okay, there is also this Aryan and Dravidian theory that we need to address. Also, there is a lot of mythological stories and historical stories with regards to who are our ancestors, what are our traditions, what is our roles and duties, etc. So, what will be the curriculum or syllabus of this Gurukul? Thank you.
Member, would you like to answer? Answer in short.
So thanks for acknowledging, Chair. So first question you raised was about the campus. So talking about the campus in the rural areas where there are no any kind of education facilities, they are mostly tribal people, right? And the Gurukuls which were previously there, they didn't have a very big campus. There was just small patches inside the jungle where they used to be a guru, and the students used to go to and study. So about the campus, it's not a very big deal to like take up land and build a small building or building a small like house kind of structure over there and to build this Gurukul. Second, talking about the boarding system and all. So we don't want a total like hostel facility over there. Like they are living there. They are tribals of that region. They are building a Gurukul over there where they can go as they are going to a school. But the only difference is they are getting the Siksha of Gurukul. And talking about from which like time I am talking about the Gurukul. So when I say Gurukul, I mean the teachings of Chanakya. We all know Nalanda University, right? It's being restored. So in short, गुरुकुल कैसा रहेगा जैसे चाणक्य ने बनाया था नालंदा की तरह वही पढ़ाएंगे जो नालंदा में पढ़ाया जाता था सिमिलर थिंग्स थोड़ा मॉडर्न ऑब्वियसली टच देके कि व्हाट हाउ दे कैन अर्न मनी जो कॉमन सब्जेक्ट्स होते हैं जो हमारे कॉलेज स्कूल्स में नहीं पढ़ाए जाते हैं ना
Any points in support of the point that you want to say right now? Disha.
Thank you for acknowledging me, Chair. So I just want to add to your point. I don't want to contradict or say more about Gurukuls. Like our system, our education system is more based on British education system and American education system. Although the Indian heritage, it is very rich. Everybody knows the Vedas, Upanishads, Hanuman Chalisa. Actually, I just want to state a fact. The distance between the Earth and the Sun was calculated long before Christian Huygens in 1653. Who did it? The Hanuman Chalisa, which is written by Tulsidas. So I would just like to tell you guys that we should install some sessions or some little small lectures in our school itself, not
Disha, summarize it.
yeah, so basically installing sessions, not every day, just once a week, by retired Sanskrit teachers. Now, my mom is a Hindi teacher and she's in contact with these retired Sanskrit teachers. I have a huge database of teachers, and I would just like for them to take lectures once a week, and this gives a head start to our system, our old system.
Last two motions on quality education. Any new motions on the floor? Yes, Pratik.
थैंक यू सर फॉर हैविंग मी सो मैंने मुंबई जैसे सिटी में देखा है कि स्कूल स्टूडेंट्स में जब भी स्कूल स्टूडेंट पास आउट होते हैं दे सिंपली जो उनके बुक्स होते हैं दे डिड नॉट रीसेल इट दे सिंपली थ्रो इन रद्दी बिकॉज स्कूल आल्सो फोर्स देम टू बाय अ न्यू बुक so I want to present a motion that we can collect that old books, and give books to needy students.
Again, there was a lot of banging and there were flipper cards. Member to my left.
Thank you for acknowledging me, Chairperson. I would like to add to the point that there are already some organizations that have websites and applications for that you can register, and you can tell them how many books you have, and they will pick it up from you. They will, if you want, they will also give you a small incentive for the books you give, and they will ensure that the books are reached to those people who are really in need of that books.
Any more support points on the floor? Any more support points on the floor? Bharat.
Thank you for acknowledging me, Chair. So, प्रतीक के my co-member प्रतीक उसके point के support में हूँ जैसे let's say if a person
who exchanges books with other person. So यहाँ पर होगा ये कि दूसरे बंदे को नई बुक्स नहीं खरीदनी पड़ेगी, और if we use some apps also for exchanging books, तो यहाँ पर ये हम लोग कर सकते हैं कि let's say how promoting quality education, क्योंकि अगर हमारा पैसा बच रहा है तो उसी पैसे को हम लोग उसके और किसी एजुकेशन एक्सपेंसेस पे भी लगा सकते हैं, और भी वहाँ पर जहाँ पर उससे और जरूरत है, जैसे if he wants to buy some courses and he have a limited money, so वो पैसा अगर वहाँ पर बच जाता है तो वो वहाँ पर भी लग सकता है. So that's the reason why I think this motion should be this motion is good and this motion should get passed. Thank you.
Okay. Any points on contradiction? Thank you. Any new motions on the floor? Yes, Krish.
Thank you, Chair, for acknowledging me. So first of all, I will not be describing the whole story. I will just put some bullet points that I think that should be implemented to improve the quality education. That is a major agenda. So the basic point is we should first educate teachers that how to educate students. Of course, there are teachers, they are filled with top of knowledge, but there are major problems that they can't amplify their knowledge properly to students, and there are many major problems that students can't understand teachers, even if the teachers are very well designated in high level. Secondly, as our Indian education policy is more conceptual, comparative, practical. So if we implement practical knowledge in our new education, in our policy, that will be more grateful. And last but not least, as from the start of this session, my co-delegates are saying that we should provide education in underprivileged villages and etc. So first of all, we need to see that just by giving them knowledge is not the thing. First, we need to create an ethical logic and principles that the way of their thinking towards knowledge. Every student is not ready to gain knowledge, but first we need to gain the ethics and principle that for education is very much important for themselves and for their lives and their family also. Just by handling them maths textbook and they will learn, no, it will not work. But it will work by explaining them that how it will help them. So this is my major points that I can raise. Thank you.
Summarize your point. Summarize your motion.
Which one? I raised 3 bullet points.
Those are the sub.
So basically, first is that as I said, educate teachers that how to educate students. As I said, teachers, they are designated as teachers because they are filled with knowledge, but they can't properly amplify their knowledge towards students due to some circumstances or anything. So we can explain them ways to how to amplify their knowledge towards students. Secondly, I said practical knowledge is more uplifting in India rather than conceptual. If we see in abroad countries, conceptual knowledge is more implemented. That's why they are higher level than India. And nowadays, India is also looking forward in conceptual knowledge, and we can uplift it more than comparative to conceptual knowledge. And third, as I said, we'll need to build a principle in underprivileged students that they have to learn. Not just compulsory, we will hand them textbooks and they need to learn. First, we'll need to explain them why they should earn this knowledge and how it will help them. So this is my basic points. Thank you.
Okay, so what will be your plan of action? How will you execute these 3 points?
So if I say about educating teachers, of course, majority of teachers are very well designated and they do their work very 100% efficiently. So we can take their help to from senior teachers, senior professors, we can help them, we can use their help and we can take their knowledge and we can conduct seminar and workshop for junior teachers and professors that it will help them that what are the ways, what are the techniques, what are the how to build an environment, a friendly environment and how they should work. Secondly, as I said, conceptual. So you said to
Yes, I did, but
yeah. And if I talk about conceptual, we have all saw a movie Hichki. So there, she would take all the students in ground, and she plays basketball with them, and then she shows what is the height, what is the weight of basketball. So how will you calculate speed, mass, and etc. So by this methods we can gain knowledge which comes in practical knowledge. And last, that we can conduct seminars that will be teaching the underprivileged students that why they should learn, not directly giving them textbooks. First, we will need to build a inbuilt, responsibility that yeah, I have to learn. Then they will be learning more efficiently. So these are my points.
Thank you very much. Any point in support? Yes, Sanjeev. Please keep it short.
Thank you for acknowledging me, Chair. So I would just like to say 2 points that just I would like to add some points to the motion that जब अपन गाँव में बच्चों को या any undeveloped regions में we provide education, we provide them with the scale comparing to the city. So what I would like to ask is we should provide them with their sustainable skills. जैसे अगर उनका जो लेवल है उस लेवल से अपने को उनको उठाना चाहिए, not the level we are going through. तुम एक रायन के बच्चों को और गांव के बच्चों को सेम सिलेबस पढ़ाओगे तो they can't take the pressure. And I would like to take a reference of the movie तारे ज़मीन पर. जो टीचर था, he literally went through the brains of the mindset of the kid and took up the kid. So that's what I would like to add. The psychology consent should be added to the educational system.
I would like to take a last motion on quality education. Last motion on quality education. Any motion on the floor?
No contradictions.
Sorry.
Thank you for acknowledging, Chair. Speaking of the society, as we already discussed, that we need to really scale it down to the level wherein they are able to do better rather than just comparing them with the urban areas. I would like to facilitate a method wherein we mainly see that children who are there in rural areas mainly try and prioritize their family farming or family culture over schooling. So I would suggest that we include those things in their daily routine. For example, if they even have classes, post that or amidst that they can have different sessions on, for example, how to do stitching or how to do agricultural farming, where they are also getting better strategies. So that's how they're able to facilitate their families better and earn, as well as are enticed towards education and are learning from that as well. Because at the end of the day, when they get a better paycheck, that's how they realize that okay, fine, because they're in school, that's how I was able to do.
Nice point.
So my main point is to include.
What is your point with plan of action?
Right. So the plan of action here is to go to educational platforms in these rural areas to try and inculcate these activities and preach them more and help them get the practical knowledge and strategies about how to get better at what they're already doing, be it their farming, be it their stitching, whatever they're actually performing in rural areas. Just to get one level. Thank you.
Any points in support? Disha.
So I totally thank you for acknowledging, Chair. I totally support your motion. In my school, we used to have SUPW, and the peons themselves knew how to fix a bulb and all of that. So I feel like we can encourage the peons of any school because they have a large knowledge area which goes to waste, like basic lifestyle things like fixing a bulb or fixing a circuit and everything. So we can always encourage them to teach the students all of the things that they know.
Yes, thank you. Any points in contradiction? Okay, so now we move towards the voting for session 3, that is quality education.
Yeah, so before that, I just want to ask you something. You people came at morning, right? Somewhat like 7:58, right?
6.
I'm talking about the members, okay? Not seniors and so I want to ask members, like what you feel like coming in the morning, having food here, talking on something stuff, and you are sitting beside no one. You are finding new friends. So if anyone to talk about it, you can. Disha.
The assembly is adjourned for 2 minutes, so we can discuss this.
So I'm really grateful to myself that I came because in the morning I wouldn't be able to get up. And so yeah, and also I was feeling very nervous when the first time I was talking. My hands were shivering.
Whatever it is. So it's very similar to what I'm getting right now. And it's a wonderful experience to be a part of an assembly. I'm doing this for the first time and it's very exciting.
Any member? Member. Another.
Thank you for acknowledging me. जब मैं आया था, मैं I took this very seriously. I called my lawyer दीदी and just told her topics भाई ये topics आप मेरे को बता दो कुछ नहीं आता है. I'm just a noob and it was like 3 hours, 4 hours I spent with her call. I got nothing. Legit I got nothing. What she was talking about articles, she was talking about constitution. But I got a rough idea. मैंने बोला चलो आज जाएंगे. अब मैंने 4 घंटे बिठा लिए. It was 4 a.m. I thought चलो अब मैं कुछ लिख के जाऊँगा. I was inspired by my friends Asmit and my core members. They were so close to me. Like it was my one day experience when I met them. But it was like ये bonding बहुत time से ऐसा लगा. And I felt legit very happy. And this is the first committee I am telling honestly that I am feeling that I am a part of and I can contribute to it. And I will be honest to it. I am telling it now. I actually gave 50 to 60% commitment to the committee. I remember, but now I'm giving it 100% because today was the day that I felt that yes, the speech that I wasted is worth it today because I spoke so much, I got so many ideologies of others, and it was like yes, we were speaking for ourselves, and yes, it felt very happy to be here. Thank you.
Good. Thank you. Anyone else?
Thank you. So first of all, I had no plans and no intentions to be here, but surprisingly I am. So maybe universe is working in my favor. So to be honest, today I should be at my classes studying and debating with my peers, but somehow I'm not. And really, thank you to my teacher who heard my advice yesterday and who cancelled today's class. Because had classes been there today, maybe I would have been there. Okay, so thank you, sir. And thank you all so much because today one of the things that I got to learn is that all of us want to express so much. We have so much within our hearts and within our minds that just is looking for an outlet, and that happened to be this forum today. And I'm just so grateful to the organizing committee who has pulled full nighters and who has been working for this event for months at a stretch. Thank you. Just to conclude, thank you so much for making me feel so accepted. Thank you for listening to all my points. I value your criticism and I value your support. Thank you.
Great stuff. And anyone else? Last. Oh, there are a lot of people to talk. No, only members.
Thank you. It was 17th evening when Afra told me to join the event. Today was my parents' anniversary. I was going for a trip out. I had my trip for 25th. I was going to do planning and all that thing. Everything got cancelled like hell out of it. After 17th on 19th, I get a message that the trip of 25th is cancelled. I had cancelled my trip of 21st on 17th at the night only. And today I am here by speaking something which I do not have thought of speaking in public, but I am speaking because I don't know what I am contradicting anything. I did not make any notes also. I had only 1 to 2 pages notes, and I came here by without just came here and just I'm enjoying it. What I am feeling it now. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good job. Digambar.
Thank you for the acknowledgement, Chairperson.
इसमें acknowledgement. Those 2 minutes.
For the first time, I felt like I spent my day well after I came to Mumbai. I'm not from here. I'm not from around here. I was born here, but I completed my education elsewhere. I don't know anyone. Most of the
Where is that elsewhere?
Gujarat. And for the first time, my parents are happy. I woke up early in the morning.
Thank you so much. Okay. So I think we have one last session. Before that, let's play a small game. So are you guys ready? Yes. Sorry, folks. Folks, are you ready? Sound. I know that tables are very hard. They're hard to have that. Even पहले I don't know that. मैं बहुत महादेव मेरा अच्छा लगा. मेरा हिंदी थोड़ा अच्छा नहीं है, so please excuse. So let's play. तो तुम लोग, I will try to talk in Hindi. Please excuse. I'm sorry. So सुबह से तुम लोग रिसर्च किए, बातें कर रहे हो, एक ही जगह इतने घंटे बैठे. After a long time. So we want, let's play a game called sit and stand. हाँ, क्योंकि हम लंच में रोटी खा रहे, पनीर खा रहे, गुलाब जामुन खा रहे, आइसक्रीम खा रहे. So ready? Who is not ready? Why? Okay, so ready? Stand. Everyone. अरे चिक्का कोई भी बैठो. The people who are not playing, just take a picture. They have punishment. After Ojas, even you, everyone in the house except me. Stand. They're playing a game called sit and stand. What's your name? Ozi. Why you are not playing? Injured. An excuse. Next, anyone any reasons, any issues? Everyone good, right? So, sit. Everyone quick, sit. Stand. Sit. Stand. Stand. Sit. Sit. Stand. Stand. Oh, कौन है वो? ईशान. Yeah, okay. Stand. Stand.
stand, sit, sit, stand, stand, fly, fly. Do your hands, fly. It's out of syllabus. It can. 3 marks. Fly. Fly? What is this? Right? Sit. Sit. Stand. Sit. Stand. Sit. Stand. Fly. Sit. Stand. Sit. Good job. Okay. Let's begin the voting.
So the motions are survey through forms about the quality of education that India has and thus improving the quality of education. Members in support of the motion, please raise your platform. I repeat, survey through forms about the quality of education that India has. Basically analyzing the quality of education in India. Members in support of the motion? Members in contradiction? Members in support? Members in support? Members in contradiction? Motion not passed. Installation of smart boards in orphanages. Members in support? Yeah. Members in support? Members in contradiction? Members in support? Members in contradiction? Motion not passed. Using GPT 3.5 for exchanging quality education, helping teachers and students. Members in support? Members in contradiction? Motion not passed.
Providing projectors and devices to schools and in rural areas to improve the quality of education. Members in support. Members in contradiction. In support. We'll go with the voice vote. People in support. Members in support say yay.
Yay!
Members in oppose say nay.
Nay!
Motion not passed. Smart on device which will help the blind
That side.
to read and write. Members in support can read the cards. Members in oppose can read the cards. Motion passed. Providing sex education in colleges and schools. Members in favor can read the cards. Members in oppose. Motion passed. Awareness through Nukkad Nataks about quality of education. Members for the motion. Members against the motion. Members for the motion. Motion passed. Campaigning, teaching people sign language. Members for the motion can raise the cards. Members against the motion. Motion not passed. Collaborating with ISKCON and connecting them with rural areas. Members for the motion. Members against the motion. Motion not passed. Setting up the computer lab in government schools. Members for the motion. I repeat. Setting up the computer labs in government schools. Members for the motion. Members against the motion. Motion not passed. Collaborating with underprivileged schools and take students on educational trips. Members for the motion. Members against the motion. Members for the motion. Motion passed. project-based learning for project-based learning for improving quality of education. Members for the motion. Members against the motion. Members for the motion. Members against the motion. Motion not passed. Inculcating sports into schools and colleges to promote sports as well as a refreshment, a break from studies. Members in support of the motion. Members in oppose of the motion. Motion passed. Building Gurukul in rural areas. Members for the motion. Members against the motion. Motion not passed. Educating teachers, giving practical knowledge, building principles, and adding psychological aspect. Members for the motion. Members against the motion. Motion passed. Going to education institutions and building different creative skills. Different creative skills such as, so we would like to
More like agricultural aspects which can help them farm better or like help women also work better by teaching them.
Yes.
Like a training program, a skill set training program.
Thank you. Members for the motion. Members against the motion. Motion passed. Thank you, folks. Here we completed our third session. Now we'll move towards. The fourth session. We'll start the session in a few minutes. No one can leave their places. Sit on the places.
Okay? We'll have a chief guest presence in a while. And when that happens, I need all of you to do the drum rolls. Just like how when you were entering, the same drum rolls will happen when he enters. Is that alright? Okay? Can we have a mock session? Enough. I think that's enough. Yeah, that's enough. That's enough. Okay? Others, you can do it.
Okay. Last two votings, Disha and me. Disha, I would like you to please elaborate your motion in short. Alan.
So all I want to say is,
So during the week, only once the retired Sanskrit teachers, which my mom is in contact with, and she has a large database. So with the help of them, they will volunteer. They won't charge anything for that. So once a week, we can always ask them to go there and go in different schools and teach Sanskrit and more about our Vedas and Upanishads. Yeah, that's it.
Members in support of the motion? Members in conviction? Members in support? Members in conviction? Motion passed. Pradeep? You wanted to raise a motion, right?
Pradeep, please elaborate your motion.
The actual motion was my is to exchange the books. बहुत सारे मुंबई में बहुत सारी जगह बुक्स एक्सचेंज की नहीं जाती. हम वो बुक्स लेके जो नीडी स्टूडेंट है उनके साथ वो बुक एक्सचेंज कर सकते हैं. That's
Members in support of the motion. Members in support of the motion. Members in oppose. Motion passed.
Okay, we'll move ahead to the next session. Can you ensure that everybody is inside? Sanjay, is everybody inside? The next topic is no poverty. Giving you 2 minutes of time until the rest of them are inside. Please prepare the speeches.
दोनों इधर रखो.
Sanjay, is everybody inside? Yeah, most of them. Okay. Any new speeches on the floor on the topic no poverty? Bunch.
Thank you for acknowledging, Chair. Good evening, everyone present here.
Poverty is more than just a lack of money. It's a barrier to opportunity, education, and health. So let's stand for together to provide a healthy mind and those who need uh, the financial needs. We can make a difference by raising awareness, supporting local communities, and advocating for policies that address the root causes of poverty, which help people to need more support and resources. This may empower them to lift themselves out of poverty through education, job opportunities, and access to basic necessities. Thank you.
Any new speech? Any new speeches on the floor? Disha.
The poor are getting poorer and the rich are getting richer. This statement, the loud sound of this statement goes in every Mumbaiker's mind. The basic thing we need to understand is that the rich are not paying their taxes. And I'm not blaming or claiming, but they have a loophole and they are finding these loopholes and getting their way out. Secondly, we need to ensure that people who don't have opportunities get opportunities. The poor people, they need a head start. They need a shelter. We need to make a shelter for the poor, and they don't have a home to live. They live on the streets. God knows in what situation, and they don't have clothes to wear. We need to provide them clothes, food to eat. They don't have food to eat, so we need to give them some amount of food, and we should be ensuring that this shelter at least gets them a head start. Thank you.
Is this the opening speech or motion?
No, no.
Any new speeches on the floor? Member present.
Thank you for acknowledging me, Chairperson. So, as my fellow members have explained, what is poverty? It is not only the lack of money, but all the social exclusion, insecurity, vulnerability, deprivation of their well-being. So, poverty starts with a very basic start. Why Mumbai? Why we are finding poverty in Mumbai? Let's see a data. Mumbai is the 12th richest city in the world. $950 million is the wealth of Mumbai, even above Paris. 6.5 million slums. This is the data that we will be focusing on. From 12 million people, 6.5 million people are staying in slums. Why? And I would add on one more data. See, the Mumbai area is 603.4 meters square, and the slums people are only getting 10 meters square. The 55% of the population is living on the 10% area of Mumbai. So my motion will be very basic. We need to relocate land for people, relocation of land for the slums who are not getting enough space to live. Secondly, this is interrelated to the topics that we discussed previously. Like we discussed about the sanitation. The sanitation, if we will improve sanitation, poverty will improve. If we will improve the okay. So my point was why Mumbai, and I have told that why Mumbai because 55% population of Mumbai is living in slums, and they are only have gotten 10% of overall land in Mumbai. Thank you.
Thank you. The last opening speech is going to the next team, right?
Thank you, sir, for acknowledging me. Bhagat Singh, in his essay, Why I Am an Atheist, says that the biggest sin is to be a poor. And it is so because when you are poor, you don't get to decide which school you go to. You don't get to decide what quality of food you consume. You don't get to decide the locality in which you live. You also don't get to decide whether or not you get legal aid in case you have been charged or any case has been filed against you. Also, There is a proverb in English that beggars cannot be choosers. But in today's modern day and age, wherein we talk about existentialism, which is a school of philosophy propounded by Jean-Paul Sartre, and existentialism talks about how we make our own destinies through our decisions. But if poor aren't free to decide for themselves, it means that it is the rich and the wealthy who are deciding the course of destiny of the poor as well. Thank you.
Any motions on the floor? Arun.
थैंक यू फॉर acknowledging me sir. तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल जितने भी अपन को जितना ज़्यादा हो सकता है उतना ज़्यादा बैकवर्ड एरियाज है उनको एक्सप्लोर करना चाहिए. जहाँ जहाँ कभी भी जो लेडीज है जो घर पे फ्री रहती है तो उनका कुछ ना कुछ काम करती है जो काम अपन ट्रेडिशनली कर सकते हैं बट आज के टाइम पे कॉस्ट कम करने के लिए लोग बाग वो चीज मैकेनिकल टाइप में करते हैं. तो अपन जो लेडीज ट्रेडिशनल वर्क कर रही है उनको अपन कुछ ना कुछ मशीन प्रोवाइड करा सकते हैं या कुछ एडवांसमेंट टेक्नोलॉजी प्रोवाइड करा सकते हैं जिनसे उनकी कॉस्ट भी कम आएगी और उनका मेहनत भी कम रहेगा और वो अच्छे से कमा भी पाएंगे.
Any motions? Any member in support of the motion? Any members in support of the motion? Any member in contradiction? Member to my right.
Thank you, Chair, for having me. I just want to ask simple question. What is there going to be action plan?
Member, would you like to answer that? You may answer.
थैंक यू फॉर एक्नॉलेजिंग मी. तो बेसिकली मेरा आइडिया ये है मैं चाहता हूँ कि जितने बैकवर्ड एरियाज है अपन उनको एक्सप्लोर करें. काफी सारी लेडीज है जो आज के टाइम पे मतलब अपन सोच नहीं सकते उतने भी ज्यादा बैकवर्ड एरिया में रहती है बट अपने लिए बहुत सारी छोटी छोटी चीजें वो होगी उनके हाथों से बनाते हैं. उनका आर्टिस्ट भी बहुत अच्छा होता है तो वो जो चीजें वो हाथ से बनाती है तो उनका कॉस्ट भी ज्यादा आता है मेहनत भी ज्यादा आती है और वो जो प्रॉफिट मार्जिन है वो भी इतना नहीं मिल पाता है. तो अगर अपन एक्सप्लोर करेंगे अगर उनको एडवांसमेंट टेक्नोलॉजी देंगे तो उनका क्वांटिटी बढ़ेगा प्रोडक्शन भी बढ़ेगा एंड प्रॉफिट भी बढ़ेगा. अंडरस्टैंड?
Would you want to contradict? The session is open for debate.
Still, I didn't understand what we are going to do. If the motion get passed after the assembly, what we are going to do? That's what I am asking.
We identify what we will do. अपन क्या हेल्प कर सकते हैं अगर अपन से पॉसिबल है अपने पास फंड्स है जस्ट लाइक सपोज करो फ्लोर मैट्स होते हैं वहां पे लेडीज हाथ से बनाती है लेकिन अगर अपन सपोज करो अपन स्विमिंग मशीन लगा दे तो कैसा रहेगा बताओ. बैंगल्स होती है हाथ से बनती है आज मशीन की बैंगल अलग दिखती है हैंडमेड बैंगल्स अलग दिखती है. अगर अपन उनको मशीन लगा दे तो प्रोडक्ट भी बढ़ेगा प्रॉफिट मार्जिन भी बढ़ेगा और उनको प्रोडक्शन होगा 5000 होता है राइट.
Okay, thank you.
Any points of contradiction? Points in support? Any motions on the floor? Disha.
Thank you for acknowledging me, Chair. So, unfortunately, actually not fortunately, there was one shelf that I saw in Tilak Nagar. I don't know if you guys know, but Tilak Nagar is a small colony, and they have installed shelves around the Nagar where people from around the society can give their old washed clothes, and the people who are in need can take clothes from there without any hesitation. So what I want is installing more shelves because unfortunately I just saw one shelf there, and I would like to see more shelves installed around the city.
Any members in support of the motion? Member Malik.
I would like to support. Thank you, Chair, for acknowledging me. First of all, I would like to support the motion because this not only solves the problem of poverty, but also if the poor don't have clothes, they can directly take it from there. They don't need to beg. So if they can directly they have ability to clothes so that they can spend more of their time in actually thinking of what they can do instead of begging.
Thank you.
Any point of contention? Member Malik.
Thank you, Chair, for acknowledging me. So I think this solution wouldn't work in case of India. Two reasons. First of all, I think I've heard of a similar concept being implemented in the US. And yes, it does work well there. But then the thing is, we need to understand we are in India, okay? And here, the windshields of the train, the dustbins, everything are destroyed within a matter of time. Okay, so we need to come up with sustainable solutions, and which isn't the case. And what I would like to highlight is here either you're depriving the poor of the access to clothing or to his or her dignity. Because ultimately, if you are taking clothes from such places, you wouldn't feel nice about it. So rather, what would happen is I am an NSS volunteer, and once a year we gather clothes and other resources that can be distributed among the poor. So I think that is a better idea rather than having these shelves. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Do you want to answer? You want to answer? Yeah, you may go ahead.
Thank you, Chair, for acknowledging me. Ma'am, like you only said in your opening speech that beggars can't be choosers. In this way, maybe they can and we are in India. But if a small colony like Tilak Nagar can do it, I think we all agree that everyone can do it.
Do you want to answer her back? Any points of conviction? Any points of support? Any emotions on the floor for no poverty? No poverty includes basically most of the criteria. So I want all of you to raise sustainable emotions, please. Projects that will be executed by us as students and MIA members. Tejesh.
Thank you for acknowledging me, chairs. So the root cause, one of the root causes.
Sorry to cut you. I request all of you to please stand up and do the drum rolls.
We proudly welcome Mr. Akshay Jain, the General Secretary of Maharashtra Youth Congress and also the Chairman of CDF. Thank you for accepting our invitation and supporting our assembly presence.
We'll continue with the motion, please, Tejesh.
Thank you, chairs, and thank you for acknowledging me. So, for one of the root reasons for no poverty is unemployment, and I think everyone would agree with that. So, I have an idea where we can set up sewing machine centers where women can learn sewing machines and use it as a mode of employment in villages. See, women in villages really do, they usually focus on the household chores mostly. So, what if we can set up a stream of income for them by teaching them sewing and setting up a sewing machine center, which can be a source of income for them?
Any points in support? Member to my right.
Thank you, Chair, for acknowledging me. So yes, I do support this motion because cottage industry, as I had highlighted in the morning also, is one of the DPSP principles highlighted by Gandhi as well. And what we can be doing though is right now the only reason why we ourselves don't buy these local products is that the quality of them isn't that great, and also marketing hasn't happened so much, and we only wear things that we see online or on television. So what we can do is, first of all, we can increase the representation of these goods so that we feel empowered and we have this coolness factor when we use these goods. And secondly, there is this concept in economics called the invisible hand of Adam Smith, and which basically talks that since you are employed at a domestic factory, you are more inclined towards buying products of a domestic factory too. So we need to keep that concept in mind while we operate. Thank you.
Do you want to answer that? Do you want to add in addition something to that, Dinesh? Any points of contradiction?
तो बेसिकली अगर अपन रूरल एरिया की बात करें तो रूरल एरिया में तो मोस्टली क्या होता है, लेडीज होती है, जेंट्स होता है। जेंट्स जो कमाता है वो सफिशिएंट नहीं होता है, तो लेडीज को ही कमाना पड़ता है, वो चाहे या ना चाहे। और मतलब अपन रूरल एरियाज के अंदर तो अपन देखते हैं 2 बच्चे 3 बच्चे एक फैमिली में होते हैं, तो तुमको क्या लगता है लाइक, और मोस्टली जो लेडीज हैं, जैसा जितना कि मैंने ऑब्जर्व किया है, वो लोग अपने जो हस्बैंड होते हैं उनके साथ ही फार्म पे जाती है काम करने के लिए, फार्मर्स के साथ, और उनके इतना बिजी शेड्यूल होता है, तो सुबह जाती है और रात में आती है, खाना वाला सब कुछ वो वहीं पे खाती है। तो तुमको लगता है कि वो स्विमिंग मशीन सीखने के लिए तुम्हारे पास आएगी?
Do you want to answer that with? Yes. He was in contradiction with you. The session is open for debate.
Okay, thank you, Chair, and thank you, Member. So, while I do acknowledge that the role of a homemaker is quite challenging, and yes, there are time constraints. That said, we always underestimate the potential of rural villages, because these villages have a collaborative and cooperative approach that we get to see, and which is why a lot of cooperative societies or microfinance institutes operate in such areas. What I would rather suggest is, because it will only take 1 to 2 hours to learn the skill, and as you rightly said, it's not that they aren't willing or they don't want to. Okay, so what they can do is 1 to 2 hours, there can be one common nanny who can take care of their children or who can look after the household chores. And in the meanwhile, these women will go to that center, which won't be very far, it will be in 1 kilometer radius only, and they'll learn the skill and return back home. Thank you.
एक समय के लिए सोच रहे थे कि अपन ने वहाँ पे एक बहुत अच्छा सेंटर बना दिया, अपन ने बहुत अच्छा इन्वेस्टमेंट कर दिया, अपन ने बहुत सारे ट्रेनर्स वगैरह सब ला दिए, इतना कॉन्फिडेंट हो कि उनकी मेंटालिटी चेंज कर पाओगे। जस्ट लाइक वो खुद बोलेंगे, वो इतने सालों से हाथों से बुन रहे, इतने सालों से एक एक चीज अच्छे से अच्छी बना रहे। और जैसे कि अब मैंने बोला था लास्ट वाला क्वेश्चन में कि हैंडमेड चीज अलग होती है, उसकी आर्टिस्ट्री अलग होती है, मशीन मेड चीज अलग होती है, गॉट इट। और मेंटालिटी क्या बात है, आज मेरे पापा आज तक भी कैश यूज करते हैं, दे डोंट यूज ऑनलाइन।
Member, I would want both of you to conclude the points. Yeah, say a concluding statement, please.
So मेरा ये है कि मेरे को लगा कि लाइक अपन को और दो जॉब ओरिएंटेड वाली चीज है, अपन उनको थोड़ा सा जॉब ओरिएंटेड से कम लगे, उनको ट्राई करना चाहिए कि उनकी अगर ना जॉब ओरिएंटेड से ज्यादा थोड़ा एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप वाली साइड जाए, ताकि वो भी इंडिपेंडेंट बन सके और थोड़ा खुद से ग्रो कर सके।
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Member. In my conclusion, all I would like to say is there is this famous quote by Henry Ford, which goes like this, that had I asked people what they want, they would have always said that I want faster horses. But I understood the ultimate motivation, which was transport and moving from one place to another, and which is why I came up with the idea of making automobiles. Okay, so what we can do is, because India is such an innovative and unique country in itself, and wherein we have not only a Bugatti and a Ghoda Gadi running side by side, so I think we can implement the same model in our rural villages as well, wherein we can have some part of industry run by manual labor and other being automated. Thank you.
I would like to invite Mahesh Puri Goswami, the former chairperson of CYA, on the chair table, please. Any motions on the floor? Member on my center.
Thank you for acknowledging me, Chairperson. So, I will be referring to an article written by Amartya Sen. Amartya Sen, a renowned author, told about poverty. What is actually poverty? He wrote a capability theory in which he explained 10 things that are the basic needs a human need to live a well-being life. Poverty is not all about money. Many people are below poverty line, but not all are living that bad life or that unhealthy life because they don't have money. But they have the ventilation in their homes. They have that proper buildings that were made. But in slums, if we live in a place where 6 people are crowded in a space 10 by 10, how they are living? So basic needs, we just need to give basic needs to these people. Like our NGO can provide windows, our NGO can provide some structures so that their homes can be enlarged. And third thing, I would try that they should get that sense of belonging that their wages should be increased. Because in surveys, the minimum income of people are very less and rich people are forming more and more estates on the buildings and the 10% occupancy of that property is also going out. So first thing I would say we should try to fulfill their basic needs. That will be very easy, like windows and all that we discussed in all the 3 topics until from morning and on. We should focus on it. The poverty will obviously improve. Second, we should provide them with proper houses, proper sewage system, and fourth, I would add that we should prove them awareness that they are important. People need them because construction हो रहा है. People अगर construction के side पे नहीं आएंगे, if we don't have मजदूर then constructions नहीं होंगे, बनेगा ही नहीं कुछ. So we need them. That is why they are staying here. And उनकी मजबूरी है कि वो slums में रह रहे हैं, वरना वो अपने आज village में stay कर रहे होते. तो उनको ये awareness जगाने की जरूरत है that they are important for society. So this is my 3 points. If anyone wants to, thank you.
For this, I would like to add one thing. I want to ask कि आप में से कितने लोग have actual visited slum area? Almost. कितने लोग नहीं गए हो? Honestly, नहीं ऐसा यहाँ पे कोई हम लोगों को जज करने वाला नहीं है. But जो नहीं गए हो, if you could raise your hands. Okay. जो लोग visit किए हैं, उसमें से किसी को कुछ पॉइंट्स ऐड करना हो कि आप लोगों ने वर्स्ट चीज क्या देखी हुई है? व्हाट इज द वर्स्ट थिंग व्हिच यू हैव सीन? प्लीज.
Thank you for acknowledging. I have seen the hygienic area. It is not hygienic, as well as there is a lot of smell, diseases, and many other cases of where child is not wearing clothes, has nowhere to live, and is sitting on the road and asking for money. So this is
okay. And what do you feel कि इसमें सबसे important चीज है जिससे हम लोग बाहर आ सकते हैं? What is the basic which we should work on it? You feel?
maybe we should start from cleanliness, and then we should go in making good infrastructure of the slum, and then on the people's mindset.
Thank you. Sumi?
Thank you for acknowledging me, sir. What I have seen and witnessed is the fact that garbage is dumped relentlessly on the streets. And cleaning that up or creating a proper disposal system to help facilitate this can actually bring a change, because we see that 20 to 25% of the area of slums is actually dumped with garbage. If we can find a way to utilize that space, I think we can turn it from a slum to a semi-rural area, which can at least be better than the conditions they are living in.
और कोई? Yes, please. Krish.
The very basic thing is family planning. So basically, the family is already very poor. But then too, the family is increasing and they don't have proper money to feed them. They don't have proper area, to where they can stand, sleep and do etc. food. So this is the major thing I guess is bad in rural areas and slum areas.
I feel education जो है वो सबसे important और basic चीज है. Because we have many examples across the country, right from डॉक्टर कलाम जी से लीजिए या फिर बहुत सारे एग्जांपल्स हैं जो बहुत पॉवर्टी लाइन से आए हुए, जिनका फाइनेंशियल कंडीशंस काफी वीक था, बट जब आपको एजुकेशन मिलता है, let it be any education you take, whatever stream, whatever degree you take,
वहां से अपनी शुरुआत होती है। और काफी एग्जाम्पल्स, इट बी स्पोर्ट्स, इट बी इकोनॉमिक्स, इट बी साइंस, हर चीज में वो लोग आगे आ सकते हैं। ऐसे काफी सारे एग्जाम्पल्स हैं। सो बेसिक थिंग आई फील एजुकेशन पे हम लोग यदि काम करते हैं सो वो काफी अच्छे से लीड कर सकते हो। दैट कैन बी शुरुआत हो सकती है।
Just before you gave me had goal going on quality education, Akshay, but I'm sure we will go ahead with the motions again. I would ask you to please speak a few words on your behalf, Akshay, and address the gathering.
So, thank you so much. First of all, I'm sorry for being late. Actually, couple of meetings were lined up as the elections are on the head, and we are in the middle of the largest festival of our country, which is 2024 elections. And I'm glad, I'm happy to be here to spend time with you guys for, I guess, almost, या फिर जो भी students है या फिर youngsters है, you are the first time voters, right?
Yes.
And I would urge everyone to be a part of this election. Vote wisely. सोच समझ के वोट दीजिए और बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है, एवरी वोट काउंट्स. सो यस, एंड आफ्रा, ओजस, महेश और कंप्लीट आपकी स्ट्रीट क्रॉस टीम, MYA, I would like to thank you guys for organizing this event, which is very important. Most importantly, you should clap for you yourself. सबसे important चीज, being a Sunday, आप लोग यहाँ पर हो. एंड एक चीज होती है महेश, हम लोग जब यूथ विंग के कोई भी सभी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी, बीजेपी, शिवसेना, कांग्रेस, एनसीपी, व्हेन यंग लीडर्स और यंग हम लोग जब मिलते हैं तो उस टाइम सभी का कंप्लेंट होता है, ऑलमोस्ट सभी का, कि जेन जी जो है या फिर आपकी जो जनरेशन है, बेसिकली जो 2000 के बाद दे आर नॉट मच सीरियस, या फिर बहुत कमिटेड नहीं है, या फिर दे आर नॉट मच इंटरेस्टेड. बट टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, मैं उन लोगों को हमेशा काउंटर करता हूँ कि भले नंबर छोटा होगा बट यू गाइस हैव 10x पोटेंशियल. ये मैं फॉर्मेलिटी बोल के ऐसी बटरी करना है फिर आपके स्टेज पे आके बात करना, ऐसी बात नहीं है. बट दिस इज माय पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस. जब मैं काम करता हूँ आप लोगों के साथ, ऐसा बहुत ज्यादा डिफरेंस नहीं है हम लोगों में, और 10 साल का डिफरेंस होगा मे बी, बट आप लोगों का जो पोटेंशियल है डेफिनेटली हम लोगों से ज्यादा है, और ये हम लोगों ने एक्सपीरियंस किया हुआ है. सो इट्स गुड. और अबाउट मी आई स्पीक. इनिशियली जब मैं आई एम नॉट फ्रॉम पॉलिटिकल बैकग्राउंड, माय डैड इज फार्मर और वो आज भी खेती करते हैं. आई केम इन पुणे फॉर एजुकेशन, एंड व्हेन आई वाज इन 11th स्टैंडर्ड तभी से मैं स्टूडेंट्स कांग्रेस के साथ ज्वाइन हुआ, और तब से छात्र राजनीति, स्टूडेंट पॉलिटिक्स और यूथ विंग में काम करने की शुरुआत की. स्टूडेंट्स और यूथ के राइट्स के लिए काफी टाइम हम लोग जब प्रोटेस्ट से एजिटेशन करते हैं, आई डोंट बिलीव इन ओनली राइटिंग लेटर्स टू द गवर्नमेंट और टू द एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. आपको रास्ते पे आना होता है, आपको आवाज उठानी पड़ती है, और उसके कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस ऐसे होते हैं कि काफी टाइम आई हैव बीन अरेस्टेड, काफी टाइम डिटेन होते हैं हम लोग, और काफी टाइम एफआईआर दाखिल होती है. कल मेरा 11 बजे मुझे पुणे कोर्ट में ये होना, मेरे ऊपर फेक केस की हुई है. अमित शाह जी जो है उनके अगेंस्ट में मैंने गाड़ी और रोकने का कोशिश किया, ऐसा उन्होंने केस दाखिल किया, और उसके लिए कल कोर्ट में जाना. तो ये सब चीजें होती है. बट when it comes to education, I would like to mention one thing. सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट, जो हम लोग आजकल सोशल मीडिया पे बहुत ज्यादा इन्फ्लुएंस है, एंड वी फील कि व्हाट्सएप पे या सोशल मीडिया पे जो चीजें हमें मिलती है पढ़ने में, वही चीजों में हम लोग बिलीव करके आगे बढ़ते हैं. बट ट्रस्ट मी,
then how that woman can make enough food to sell? That's it.
The delegate who raised a motion, you want to reply to them? No, the delegate who raised a motion. Yeah.
Thank you, Chair, for acknowledging me. So the term I use for the villages, people living in the village, I didn't say the people who are below the poverty line. I said people who are living in the village, who are poor people living in the village. They can they can make food for one more person. They can sell it to us. They are not giving it to us for free. They are selling it to us. So we'll be paying them for that food. Usually when we go on Sunday drives, we buy those different things that we distribute from local traders. Instead of buying those things, we can just buy those things from the villages so that it will also help the villages to develop.
You like to reply to that? The house is open for debate.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, member. So, just answering the question, who are the people that are going to buy these food? We will be buying the food and distributing those food to the beggars sitting outside the temples who do not have food to eat. हम कब तक वो फूड लेते रहेंगे and how these are going to be regarding the sustainability, and you are talking about cloud kitchen concept, right? So हम कब तक वो फूड लेते रहेंगे, तो बेसिकली वो वही हुआ ना कि हम फूड दे रहे बेगर्स और पुअर पीपल को, तो हम वो कब तक करते रहेंगे? We want sustainability goals, solutions. At street stores, what we usually do on drives, we buy those things from local traders and sell it to the and those sell
Any points of contribution? Sanju.
Thank you for acknowledging me, Chair. So first of all, I would like to correct the fact that we don't buy anything from vendor and circulate it in street stores. We just take up the task which is needed for a sustainable development. That's what we do in NGO. Okay? And second of all, what I would like to say is when you are taking the things, okay, when you're आप जब एक गांव से या किसी से भी खाना ले रहे हो and then you are transporting it, right? You will be taking it to a certain place and then you will be giving it to the people who are in need. So what I would like to ask is why are you wasting the amount of travel expenses also? Do you understand my point? You are taking up the travel expenses, you are taking up the efforts. अब उसके बाद आपको क्या output आ रहा है उतना? उससे अच्छा तो use that travel expenses also in some other place which will be more impactful. ये kind of permanent circuit, right? So that's what I would like to add. Thank you, Chair.
Any new motion on the floor? Yeah.
I would like to suggest a way that can contribute towards low poverty, and that will be we can set up low cost industries or small scale industries that can create employment for people that are illiterate. For example, if as Akshay sir said, that the reason why slums are there and they cannot be helped because illiteracy. We can help those people by giving them employment, and बोला जाए तो उनकी रोजी रोटी हम ऐसे भी उनको दे सकते हैं. तो ऐसे ऐसे करके हम पॉवर्टी भी कम कर सकते हैं और लोगों का एम्प्लॉयमेंट भी बढ़ा सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल लास्ट ईयर HY ने पेपर प्लेट फैक्ट्री सेटअप की थी. वैसे ही हम लोग यहाँ पर कुछ दूसरी फैक्ट्री में सेटअप कर सकते हैं. जैसे वी कैन जैसे वी कैन कलेक्ट पेपर्स फ्रॉम आवर रिलेटिव्स एंड आवर नेबर्स, एंड देन जैसे ये लोगों को बैठाकर इनको बैग्स बनाने लगाएंगे और वी कैन सेल दिस एंड वी कैन गिव देम पेचेक.
Any points of support? Any points of contribution? Any points of support? Any points of contribution? The delegate on the second.
Thank you, Chair, for acknowledging me. I just have a simple doubt. You mentioned that we'll be giving employment to those living in slums and rural areas, right? So I want to ask that hypothetically, if there is a family in which education hasn't been received for generations, okay, which means that they don't have qualities and skills, then what sort of employment will you give to them? Thank you.
जैसे तुमने कहा
Yeah,
कि
you must say. Any points of support? Any points of conflict? Should be.
Thank you, Sarah, for acknowledging me. Okay, so firstly, I would like to speak to the member who's there.
You must state your point.
Right. So my point being that the previous member has stated at the moment that they're not born with the particular skill set or the education, but I think skills is something that we can develop over time, and that doesn't have to be something involved in that particular person. So, be it stitching a bag or a good which can be supplied to the people in the city, which is giving them a paycheck, need not be something that they need to be born with. It can be something they can develop over time. Today, there are people who don't make it, they don't know it by birth, they're taught how to make it. So, I would like to complete.
The delegate who raised the motion would like to add any points of support. Any other points of contradiction? The delegate can direct.
Thank you, sir, for acknowledging me. Actually, the question was to me. Thank you, Surbi. Just to answer, as you rightly pointed out, nobody is born with skills and qualities. Yes, but we are not talking about giving the right to education. We are talking about giving the right to employment. Okay, and employment is different. Okay, for employment, you need skills and qualities. So, which is why I wanted to know, like, for example, if some family has been deprived of education for years altogether, what sort of employment will be given to them? Okay. I just wanted to ask that question. It was a question, not a remark. Thank you.
The house is open for debate.
Thank you, sir. So, firstly, again, talking about the skill set which requires employment, we teaching them and training them to create those bags is actually giving them an employment because they are creating it and we are selling it for them.
I didn't get, can we talk directly? Is that allowed? Okay, I didn't get your point.
So, you stated that the people who are deprived of their education and skill sets since long, how are we trying to get them employed? We provide them with a training which helps them understand how to create those goods. Post which we teach them and they get sold by us. So we are the suppliers who help them do that. But skill is something that we know. So how does being deprived of that is not say that is
Understood. So I think what you're trying to say is we'll first give them vocational training, which will which will empower them and which will upskill them to like provide their services in a particular area, and then we'll give them employment.
And
Right?
not being that prone to that skill set, we'll actually have to give them a mentorship training so that the hands-on experience at the location.
Okay. Okay. No, I thought that maybe first of all, this scheme is going to be implemented right from day one. And secondly, I got to know sometime earlier that we are only discussing those goals which can be achieved in the next 3 months. So because of which, do you think like teaching and also giving them employment in the next 3 months is possible?
Fair enough. Because they can do it as apprentices when they are getting trained below someone, and then gradually they can move on to independent skill sets. So at the end, be it whatever basis the finance.
Okay, so just to summarize, what you're trying to say is in 3 months, we'll impart a new skill to them and which will also help them gain employment, right?
Today we have, for example, even if we take up the matter of interns today, we get paid interns. We don't know, we're not professionals. But at the end, we're working under people who are getting money for that, for whatever we are learning. Gradually we learn under that sector and finally we do our independent jobs. So I think that was very
Okay, I understood your point that it is a half-baked thing that we are placing our bets on and thus we are guaranteeing them employment. Thank you.
Any points of support to the motion raised? Contradictions? Any motions on the floor? Himanshu.
Thank
Thank you for acknowledging me, Chase. So I have a similar idea as Mr. Prayag said, but I would like to pitch it my way. So first of all, I would like to say, as Akshay sir correctly pointed, कि first of all किसी को भी poverty से निकालने के लिए उसको education देना पड़ता है. But education देने के साथ साथ एक और एक key factor होता है, छोटा सा source of income. मैं एग्जांपल देता हूँ अपने खुद के डैड का. मेरे दादाजी ने अपने दोनों भी बेटों को नहीं पढ़ाया, बट मेरे डैड ने खुद छोटी सी उम्र में छोटा सा जॉब किया और उससे आपने खुद का पढ़ाई का खर्चा निकाल के पढ़े. सो आज व्हेन आई सी मेरे डैड ने अच्छा खासा प्रोग्रेस कर लिया. सो व्हाट वी नीड टू डू इनिशियली इज एक छोटा सा सोर्स ऑफ इनकम जिससे उनको एक बूस्ट मिले, जिससे वो एजुकेट हो. आज के जमाने में जब कोई भी एक्स्ट्रा जब हम अपने मम्मी पापा के पैसे पे पढ़ते हैं, उसके बाद व्हेन वी स्टार्ट अर्निंग, हम प्रोग्रेस करते हैं, हम एजुकेट होते हैं, हम नई नई चीजें सीखते हैं. तो माय पॉइंट इज एक छोटा सा सोर्स ऑफ इनकम. फॉर दैट, टू सपोर्ट माय पॉइंट, आई हैव अ बिजनेस प्लान. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल मैंने कभी बिजनेस प्लान बनाया नहीं है. बहुत ही आठवीं के मैथ्स का यूज करके मैंने बिजनेस प्लान बनाया. सो जस्ट माइंड इट अगर कोई बहुत मेजर पॉइंट में मिस कर रहा हो, मैं साइंस स्टूडेंट है. सो माय बिजनेस प्लान वाज फर्स्ट ऑफ कहीं पे ऐसी जगह पे जहाँ पे वी वुड गेट कि बहुत ही अंडर प्रिविलेज्ड फीमेल्स हो. अभी फीमेल्स आपको हमको पता ही क्या, हम अपनी खुद की मम्मी को देख लो. अगर आपकी मॉम एक हाउस मेकर है तो ऐसा तो नहीं हो कि दिन में 24 घंटे अपने घर का काम करती रहती है. दोपहर तो 2-3 घंटा लगा के सोती है, 1-1.5 घंटा टीवी देखती है, 1-1.5 घंटा बाहर चुगलियां करती है. सो सो अगर उसकी जगह हम उनको एम्पावर करें कि हम आपको एक छोटा सा सोर्स ऑफ इनकम देंगे by giving you employment in our business. So first of all, it's our business. So we are the mind of that business. So we will make sure कि वो business loss में ना जाए. Business बहुत simple है. We are buying a machine. जैसे प्रयाग ने एग्जांपल दिया, हैदराबाद में एक प्रोजेक्ट किया था जहाँ पे उन्होंने पेपर प्लेट्स बनाए थे. तो फर्स्ट हम लोग यहाँ पे क्या करेंगे, हम सैनिटरी पैड्स का एक मशीन खरीदेंगे. मैंने थोड़ा सा रिसर्च किया, आई गॉट टू नो गुड डील. एक 1.5 लाख में एक मशीन ब्रांड सोनी ट्रेडर्स इज गिविंग जो 2K पैड्स पर डे बना सकता है, वर्किंग 16 आवर्स अ डे, जो सिंगल फेज पे वर्क भी करता है एंड लाइक और सिर्फ रॉ मटेरियल और चाहिए तो एक पैड की कीमत होती है नियरली 10 रुपीस, राइट. तो उस पैड में रॉ मटेरियल प्लस बिजली का बिल मिला के एक पैड की कीमत पड़ेगी 4 रुपए. तो उसे हम सेल करेंगे ऑब्वियसली 10 रुपीस में, खुद की मतलब पैकेजिंग में और डाल के. उससे हमारा ब्रांडिंग भी होगा स्ट्रीट कॉस्ट का. उसके अलावा वी आर सेलिंग इट तो हमें 6 रुपए का प्रॉफिट आ रहा है ओवर अ पैड. तो अगर दिन में 2000 पैड्स बन रहे तो उसका लाइक ओवरऑल 40,000 आता है. उसमें से अगर हम लोग कॉस्ट मेकिंग कॉस्ट काट दें तो वी आर गेटिंग 32K प्रॉफिट दिन का.
Sorry to interrupt, but state cost, we function as an NGO. According to the rules, we cannot run a business like you say. It's a major risk to our ADG certificate. And business, you just can't do business like that. You need to spend on branding, you need to spend on marketing. And just like how you mentioned, you just can't bring a machine and you can't compete with companies like State Free and etc. That's a thing. We just can't run businesses. That's the end of the situation. Yeah,
नॉन प्रॉफिटेबल बिजनेस. तो जो पेपर प्लेट वाला आइडिया था, that was a kind of business. I'm naming it a business.
No, we gifted them a paper plate making machine. We said to make paper plates. And paper plates they don't need branding or business.
ब्रांडिंग अपना ब्रांड तो छोड़ दो. I'm talking about even buying a machine, giving it to them. उससे 4 औरतें अगर उसमें हम लोग करेंगे 4 ladies will work 5 hours a day. Sorry, 4 hours a day. 16 hours हो जाता है. एक ही आवर का मशीन को चाहिए रेस्ट.
Any motion on the floor? Or any points of conclusion? Sanjay?
Thank you for acknowledging me, Chair. So, first of all, I'd like to tell you on the basis of your business plan that when you invest from any kind of organization, you have to check into the statistics of your turnover. And इसका statistics of turnover within 3 months is literally zero, even if you have 100% of brand. ये experience से बोल रही हूँ, I know it. Okay. And next thing is, this is the cost amount you have given if your ladies work for 16 hours a day. Yeah.
Not sure.
Okay. So that was the statistics you have given, 4 ladies or whatever. So the thing is, you are changing their lifestyle and yet giving them a time period of 3 months, which might turn out good or not. And when they are below poverty, they can't afford this because this will affect their family lifestyle. This will affect their multiple things. Okay, if you are below poverty, every hour of their mentality lifestyle depends on multiple things. Okay, so yeah, that was my point.
Any other points of contact?
Thank you, Chase.
Thank you for acknowledging the chair. So my point of contradiction is as we are talking about sanitary pads, so what Himanshu our delegate said कि हम लोग एक मशीन देंगे औरतों को जहाँ पर उन लोग सैनिटरी पैड्स बनाएंगे और उन्हें बेचकर उन लोग कमाए दे अर्न मनी बट एज सैनिटरी पैड्स इज ऑल अबाउट हाइजीन सो औरतें क्यों 10 रुपए का सैनिटरी पैड ना खरीद के किसी अच्छे ब्रांड की कंपनी से ना खरीद के वो उन औरतों से सैनिटरी पैड खरीदेंगी जिनको जिसका कोई ब्रांडिंग नहीं हुआ है या जिनके पास कोई बिजनेस प्लान नहीं है और स्टिल उसके बाद भी hygiene issues भी है. So why will any woman buy those sanitary pads and not choose the sanitary pads which are being sold for a long time? Thank you.
Any other points of contact? Points of contact?
Thank you, Chair, for acknowledging me. So I would like to agree to the previous delegate. Yes, first of all, I think the average sanitary pad cost is 6 to 8 rupees. And if we increase it in spite of being an NGO to 10 rupees, I don't think anybody would be foolish enough to invest so much in an unknown brand. Secondly, as has been told, that it goes against the ethos of the organization and thus we will not be doing it. So on these two grounds, I don't think that the motion can be passed.
Any motion to the floor? Sanju. Thank you for acknowledging me, Chair. So the motion I would like to raise is to get into a shelter where everyone in need below poverty line. Because when you observe in Mumbai, specifically in Mumbai, आपको हर एज ग्रुप के लोग मिलेंगे. Okay, they don't have shelters, they don't have anyone. ठीक है, आप बुजुर्ग ले लो, बच्चे ले लो, even of age of like 40 to 50 तक, उनको कोई नहीं है, and they need support, individual. So what we can do is we can get into a place जहाँ हम वैसे लोगों को साथ में रख सकते हैं. एक बच्चे को उनकी माँ मिलेगी, because that woman is alone. She would have find a reason to work for. That child would have a support system. That child would have a family. These people who have no one might get a family, a joint family, and trust me, having a joint family is still a dream for most of us because we don't have it. And for people like them, बच्चे बड़े होके they would actually grow up becoming a better person. The people who actually wanted to die would have a reason to go on with their life. So I would like to raise a motion to build in a shelter for people, everyone in need, despite of their age, despite of their religion, caste or anything, and keep them as a family and support them how much ever we can. Do you have a plan of action for the same thing? Yeah, actually I do have. Okay? So the thing what we can do is, जब हम slums में जाते हैं ना, if we consider थोड़े slums को have the authorities, ठीक है? Slums में जो 3-4 साल से या take it 5 years plus, they have a person called Dada या they call it, okay? He take cares of it. So we can contact them and वहाँ पे we can take in with an action. अपन वहाँ stay कर, like we can arrange the placements there. And as for the shelter placements and उनको जो sustainable रखना है, there are people who actually provide for them. ठीक है? We can take it anonymous donor wise, or we can just directly consider it from the NGO. So that would be my plan of action initially, but we can work on it personally as well. Any points of support? Any points of contradiction? Member to my right.
Thank you, Chair, for acknowledging me. So, first of all, I would like to better understand the plan of action that you suggested.
Member would like to answer that? So पहले अपन क्या करेंगे? We'll be taking a place. ठीक है? That place might be a slum, a village, or anything which has lower population but higher area. ठीक है? Living area. वहाँ पे we will take in the people who have no one जो roads, okay, who survive on roads or any complicated conditions. We will make them stay at a place, okay, जहाँ पे they will have a habitat. ठीक है? वहाँ पे they can live साथ में. और उसके बाद to support the living system, as we are an NGO, we are raising funds. Initially, we will support them, we will guide them, we will show them कि ऐसे ऐसे करने से होगा. As I am saying कि बच्चे हैं, of course they are not, but the age group of about 15 ले लो, they have methods to earn. It's just that they don't know because उनको कभी किसी ने बोला नहीं है. So what we will do is we will guide them through that. And approximately, according to my statistics, within 1.5 months, 20% of that people count will start working. And with that support, they will start recurring. As we have 3 months of our plan action still remaining, we will be having their support, their backup system. So within we complete the 3 months of our tenure, they will have a consistent, impactful experience. That's what I have planned for this. Any points of contradiction? Member Murray.
Thank you, Sir, for having me. So, basically, ma'am talk about the shelter, where all the slums people, all the poor people came together. So, my first question still arises. Ma'am also mentioned that एक माँ को अपना बच्चा मिल जाएगा. अगर उस वुमन की खुद के खाने के लाले हैं, तो वो एक और जवाबदारी अपने ऊपर क्यों लेगी? The first question is this. क्योंकि उनके पास खुद के लिए फूड और शेल्टर वगैरह नहीं है, so one more जवाबदारी उनको क्यों चाहिए? The second question arises talking about the family. If any child get associated with any woman who are going to get, if there are many chances of human trafficking, then who are going to get responsible for this? These are the questions.
Do you want to answer to that, Sanjay? The session is open for debate. Yeah. So your first question was?
कि आपने फैमिली की बात की. अगर मैं पोवर इंसान हूँ, मेरे खुद के खाने के लाले हैं, मेरे पास एक घर है, तो मैं किसी और को मेरे साथ क्यों जोड़ूंगा? जवाबदारी क्यों लूंगा?
Exactly, valid point. So let me tell you something. Do you have friends? Do you?
Obviously.
अगर उनको कोई इश्यू हुआ, कोई प्रॉब्लम में है, कॉल कर रहे हैं, you leaving her?
No, because they are my friends. Obviously.
क्या है? क्या मिलेगा?
Because they are my friends. That's simple.
They are your friends. बचपन से थे, खुद बनाए ना?
हाँ.
And साथ रहते हो ना? Same thing. See, when you are living with a person, initially, this is a psychology fact actually. When you are living with a person, you get attached to them. And you find it possible to get them involved in your lifestyle. And to continue with that, you will have points, you will have regions. And your second one was?
About human trafficking. If एक बच्चा अगर किसी औरत के साथ जुड़ रहा है, अगर उस औरत के मकसद ठीक नहीं है, मतलब अच्छे नहीं है, तो उस बच्चे की जवाबदारी कौन लेगा? अगर कल जाके उस बच्चे को कुछ होता है या फिर ह्यूमन ट्रैफिकिंग से केस
Great point actually, but the point I am saying is यहाँ पे जिनका कोई नहीं है, what I said prior also, जिनको जीने की इच्छा ही नहीं है, हम उनको एक way of matter of living दे रहे हैं.
Okay, so how you can identify किसको जीने की इच्छा नहीं है? क्योंकि एक बुरा इंसान फेक पर्सनालिटी बना के भी आपके शेल्टर में आ सकता है. आप लेकिन मिसयूज द फैसिलिटी है.
वो तो कहीं भी होगा ना?
हाँ, obviously.
Yeah. I request the members to give the conclusions and please have the seats.
So basically, my conclusion also, I want to talk about your first one, that's your friends. The फ्रेंड्स को मैं जब मदद करता हूँ तब मैं उसकी जवाबदारी नहीं लेता, उसके खाने की जवाबदारी नहीं लेता, क्योंकि उसको आगे बढ़ाने की जवाबदारी नहीं लेता। मैं उसको कुछ पॉइंट्स के लिए हेल्प करता हूँ, वो बात अलग होती है। और एक अपने फैमिली में एक और मेंबर ऐड करना, उसकी पूरी जवाबदारी देना, वो बात अलग है।
Any more points of contradiction? Yeah.
Thank you for acknowledging me, Chair. As Sanju said that we give them shelters and उनको रहने की एक जगह मिलेगी, her point is right. But सबसे पहली चीज हमें उनका ट्रस्ट गेन करना बहुत मुश्किल है। अगर हम उनका ट्रस्ट ही गेन नहीं करेंगे तो हम उनको हमारे पास लाएंगे कैसे? फॉर एग्जाम्पल लास्ट टाइम जो संजू आका ये लोग मुंबई विजिट किए थे, तो हम लोगों के साथ ये ड्राइव पर आए थे दत्तानी पार्क में, जहाँ पे हमने रोड साइड स्लम्स को हेल्प की थी, उनको खाना दिया था और हमारा विजिटिंग कार्ड वगैरह उनके साथ ट्रस्ट टॉक्स की सब बातें की कि हेल्प करेंगे, ऐसा करेंगे। लेकिन अगर अभी मैं बोलूँ वहाँ का सारा स्लम हटा दिया गया, उन लोगों में से किसी का भी कॉल नहीं है, तो उन्होंने तब ट्रस्ट नहीं किया था, तो अभी कौन ट्रस्ट करेगा ऐसे कोई प्लान ऑफ एक्शन को क्रिएट करने के लिए?
Thank you. And last motion for no poverty. The last motion for the assembly today. Member President.
Thank you for acknowledging me, Chair. I will just say a small thing. Our Constitution says in Article 21 that slum demolition is illegal. And actually, we are demolishing slums recently, and we need to make aware to the slum people that demolition is they can oppose it, and Constitution says it itself. So my point was this.
Any point of support? Point of conviction? Hemant.
Thank you, Chair, for acknowledging me. As my co-delegate said, demolition of slums are illegal. Why would the governments do it? They do it for the betterment. Every government does not do it for anyone. Government is doing it for the betterment of society and betterment of their lives.
Member, would you like to answer to that?
Yes.
The session is open for debate.
You are saying that government is doing it for betterment. But if we see the statistics, 55% population is slums. Yes? Shouldn't they should be given priority?
They are giving their, if they are in the slums, they are giving their pakka houses, like it might be a 1 BHK flat or something. In respect to government.
Then if you see the other problem that they are facing, they are giving that flat on rent because they are not getting enough wages.
See, it's up to the people who is giving the rent. If I would be in the place of that person, it's up to me to give it the rent. I would say because I'm losing my home. I would give my other home for the rent.
Okay. Thank you.
Any points of support? Yeah.
Thank you for acknowledging me, Chair. Supporting Anurag, as Hemant said that demolishing the slums can help for the betterment of society. But what does society contain? People. अगर लोगों का घर ही हटा रहे तो उनका betterment कैसे होगा? तो इसकी चर्चा हम गवर्नमेंट के साथ बात करके, तो इसकी जगह हम गवर्नमेंट के साथ बात करके हम जो स्लम्स लोगों का डिमोलिश हो रहा है उनको अश्योरेंस दे कि उनको घर मिलेगा, तभी वो हमारी बात मानेंगे। अगर हम उसके पहले उनका स्लम अगर डिमोलिश करते, अभी भी जो मैंने पहले मेरे पॉइंट को सपोर्ट करके बोला कि दत्तानी पार्क का स्लम हटा दिया, वहाँ पे भी गवर्नमेंट ने उनको अश्योरेंस दिया था कि उनको रहने के लिए जगह देंगे। लेकिन आज से 15 साल पहले से वो होते आ रहे हैं कि हर 5 साल में उनका स्लम हटाते हैं और वापस वो लोग वही लगाते हैं। गवर्नमेंट कुछ काम भी नहीं कर रहा है उसके ऊपर और उनकी हेल्प भी नहीं हो रही, तो इससे सोसाइटी का बेटरमेंट कहाँ हो रहा है?
Any points of conviction? जी हाँ.
Thank you for acknowledging me, Chair. The statement said by Anurag, demolishing of slum is illegal. Demolishing of slum on illegal lands is illegal. Illegal lands is illegal. If the slums are made on the public roads and public parks, for which the taxes are paid by the public, it is illegal, I guess, right? Also, contradicting to my fellow delegate Prayag, the government is also providing them houses. If you see Dharavi, the recent proposal by Adani, 6,000 crore worth, जो भी है, उनके लिए घर देने के बाद ही उनको घर देने के बाद ही उनको घर से हटाया जाएगा. So we cannot say कि उनको घर नहीं दिया जा रहा है whatever. And in that cases where they are not being provided with houses, RTI पहले mention किया था, right to information, ये सब फाइल किया जाता है बाद में अगर घर नहीं मिलता है तो.
The house is open for debate.
I guess Adani is not government, he is thinking of himself and giving them the shelters.
Adani is thinking of himself. Adani खुद के लिए थोड़ी ना कर रहा है, वो उसकी कंपनी के लिए कर रहा है.
Can we discuss on the idea rather than someone specific?
Sorry, sir, can you please?
So the point was on demolishing slums is against the government or not?
It is not against the government unless it is on illegal lands.
I got no, sir.
Any points of contribution? Okay. As my fellow delegate, thank you for acknowledging the chairs. As my fellow delegate Prayag said that government is not giving the land. Actually, in the Hyderabad, there are a lot of slums has been demolished, but we are giving them a paka house. The government have given them 2 vacant flats. Without that, there is no government is demolishing their slums. And you are saying that Adani is doing giving 600 or something amount for the slum. The Adani is collaborating with the government for the betterment of Mumbai, not for his own company. Any points of contribution?
Thank you for acknowledging me, Chair. So the thing, as you said, कि government कुछ कर नहीं रही है. It's not government कुछ कर नहीं रही है. It's just that government का और जो जिसको करना चाहते हैं उसके तक पहुंच नहीं रहा है. Do you understand the point here? And not be specific on this one particular matter, but government is trying to do. But the thing is, it's not just getting circulated very transparently. Thank you.
Any more points of contribution? Yeah.
Also, when we thank you for acknowledging me, Chair. Also, when we say कि government उन्हें घर नहीं दे रहा है, last time जब हमने ठाकुर कॉलेज के साथ हमने एक्टिविटी किया था, हमने जब इंटरेक्शन किया था, we spoke to them, right? And they told कि we have houses in राजस्थान जहाँ पे सिर्फ काम करने के लिए आए हैं. So उनको स्लम कैसे बोल सकते हैं? वो लोग अपना मोटिव बना के आए थे कि उनको यहाँ पे बिजनेस करना है. तो उन्होंने ये पहले सोच के आना चाहिए था, where should be their houses का प्रिपेयर करके आना चाहिए था. अगर बिजनेस मोटिव से आके बाद में मुंबई में आके हमारे पब्लिक रोड पे जैसे that is not considered as slum. They have houses in Rajasthan.
I think we close the motions and we go on to.
Any other motion if you want, you can go ahead and give us a text, but no more motions will be accepted. All the sessions for the assembly are closed. We'll go ahead to vote. Exploring backward areas areas getting aware about the creativity and giving them technology they need. Basically, making sure the rural areas are technology aware and technology driven. Members support the motion? Members against the motion? Motion passed. Buying food from people living in village and distributing it to hungry people. Basically, giving it from generating employment, like people trade factory. People in support of the motion? People in contradiction of the motion? People in support? People in contradiction? Motion not passed. Building up and promoting small scale micro industries. People in support of the motion? People against the motion? Motion not passed. Motion passed. Sanitary napkins, employment generation, setting up a business and trying to get profits through it. Not that part, but setting up the sanitary napkins and ensuring that we provide it and generate employment. We are changing the motion a bit. So people in support of the motion. Sanitary napkin, I'm repeating. Sanitary napkins machine will be instituted and that will be provided as employment generation. People in support of the motion? People in contradiction? Motion not passed. With that, we conclude all the sessions of the assembly today.
If there are any motions, please message us.
We will go ahead with the nominations. Until then, I think Akshay has to leave. So, thank you so much, Akshay, once again for joining us. It was great having you and thank you for being us. I request everybody to have their seats. The assembly is not done yet, only the goals are done, right? Elections and voting are still pending for the vice chairs and the nominations. I request all the OC to be strictly seated. All the OC. The members now who want to nominate themselves for the vice chair and the chair positions, please raise your placards. Only the members who want to.
Sorry, I'm not aware about this procedure. So can you please tell me about the whole thing?
Okay, so basically, how the voting happens is you will know if you are interested in standing for the elections for vice chair or chair. The chair is the leader for all the vice chairs, and the vice chairs lead a certain team. Each vice chair leads a goal. For example, if I am leading gender equality, I will have 6 to 7 people under me. And then, just for example, he's leading quality education, he will have 6 to 7 people under him. So that way, we will have 4 vice chairs and 1 chair projects. The chair projects will lead all the 4 vice chairs. Okay? So if you want to nominate yourself as a vice chair, you will have to come here and give a 30-second speech on why the people sitting in the assembly should vote for you. Once they vote for you, only the member who gets the highest number of votes will be shortlisted as a vice chair. So right now, what you will do if you are nominating yourself is come here and give a 30-second speech on why you should be voted upon by the members.
And those who get elected will be working for this goal for the next 4 months, right?
Yes, the ones who get elected will be working and they'll be known as the vice chairs, and the person who gets the highest number of votes will become the chair project. So, members who are interested, who are nominating themselves for the vice chair and chair positions, please raise your placards. OC, I request you to please and get me the placards if these members are interested. Members who are interested in nominating themselves for vice chair positions and chair positions? Member to my left, are you Shubha? Your name is Shubha? Considering the activeness of the assembly and other qualities and etiquettes, we also, as a chair table, want to nominate Prateek. Can I please get a placard? Disha. Harsh. Nava. Okay, got it. Gargi. I request all of you to, the ones whose placards I have, to please come and stand here in the line. All the OC, please be seated. All the OC, please be seated. So, each of you now will give a 30-second speech on spot here about why the members present here should vote for you. In the IT session, we will having a break now, 15 minutes break. You will go and pitch to every member and the OC, organizing committee. Every single person in the assembly can vote, excluding the chair. Go to them, tell them कि भाई वोट कर लिए, मैं ये करूँगा, मेरे टीम से ये करूँगा, ये प्रोजेक्ट करूँगा, fundraising ऐसे करवाऊँगा, this will be the best tenure of your life or whatever, right? You will represent yourself as a leader, and your opening speech will be right now. So I want you to be really confident and giving your best right now, so that the team will know what kind of leader you want to be, right? So let's start with Anurag.
थैंक यू फॉर दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी। मैं हमेशा कुछ बड़ा करने की सोचता हूँ। आई एम हियर सो दैट आई कैन चेंज, आई कैन इम्पैक्ट ऑन दिस सोसाइटी। मैं आज तक हर कमिटी ज्वाइन इसलिए किया ताकि मैं कुछ सीख सकूँ, मैं मैनेज कर सकूँ चीजें। आई लाइक टू हेल्प पीपल, क्योंकि मेरा बैकग्राउंड वैसा रहा है, मेरे पेरेंट्स, मेरी मम्मी एंड ऑल वे लाइक हेल्पिंग पीपल, एंड उन्होंने मेरे में यही गुण डाले कि हाँ तुझे भी हेल्प करना है। आई रिग्रेट अगर कोई इंसान के साथ बुरा है। So I will never try to do anything wrong. मैं ये आपको प्रूव कर रहा है एज अ लीडर। मैं आपको ये गारंटी कर सकता हूँ कि मेरा सपोर्ट आपके हमेशा रहेगा। I will be not at all aggressive and usually I am a very calm person. I used to be aggressive, but I am very chill. And with my experience, I can lead the projects and I can assure you full success. It's my opportunity, it's my thing. Thank you.
Good one, Anurag. 30 seconds next, Harsh.
Good evening, everyone. So basically, I would like to start my speech by saying my team, my responsibility. So I'll be the one who will be leading the team for the front. I'll be the one who will be always helping you all, always being the support hand, always being the one middle part to be helping you for the to convey your message to upper bodies like all the people, and always being with you in the time of help, and in time of success you will be the front one to be standing before me. Thank you.
Good one, Harsh. Next, Prateek.
Good evening, everyone. So basically, my name is Prateek Tatani, और सबसे पहले मैं I am not properly from Mumbai. I came from Kolhapur to here study. So basically मुझे busy होने का चांस मिला है, इसलिए जो भी प्रोजेक्ट्स हम ग्राउंड लेवल पे जाके अप्लाई करेंगे, सो मुझे ग्राउंड लेवल पता है, सो आई कैन बी द बेटर वीसी फॉर अस, दैट्स आई वांट टू से। और एक चीज और कि मैंने अपना घर छोड़ा, मतलब कोल्हापुर से छोड़ा टू लर्न न्यू थिंग्स, और बेसिकली टू जॉइन द मेन agenda to join this assembly is to learn new things. और मैं अपने टीम के साथ नियमित चीजें जरूर एक्सप्लोर करूंगा और सीखूंगा।
जिनके स्पीचेस हो रहे हैं ये सही है। हर्ष अंगानी हर्ष दिशा
Good evening, folks. So, folks already started using their language anyway. So, first of all, I'll give chocolates to everyone because they have done such a great job. And not just small toffees, okay? I'm talking about Cadbury. I'm talking about the groundwork. I will always listen to your voice, okay? Your voice will always be heard. And whatever you're talking about will always be given to the higher authorities. They'll also hear what you have to say. And please vote for me.
Good afternoon, each and everyone present over here. I think I will be a better fit for the position because I have the required expertise and experience because I have done raise college events as well and even in street cause, so I know the problems we face at the ground level while raising funds. Second thing, second thing is that I'm also I also play the role of the class representative in my college, which also gives me the experience how to handle a team. So that's all I have to say. I won't be distributing any chocolates, but I don't support bribery in any way. So that's all I have to say. Thank you everyone thank you everyone, and I would also like to thank Shikos Mumbai to give me such an opportunity. Thank you and be the best candidate.
Shubham.
So hello everyone, game show. To vote me because I first worked in a startup. I helped a startup. I helped some fundraising companies to raise funds. I know the ground level. And the same thing, I would not treat any one of you when you are better than me. And that's it.
Gandhi.
Thank you. And thank you, members. Genuinely, I'm so grateful that each one of you heard me, appreciated me, criticized me. Thank you. Genuinely, it means a lot, and I'm humbled to be receiving this much of love and acceptance just on day one. And while I'm apprehensive about this journey, yes, as it is said that life lies on the other end of fear. I would like to take the plunge and go forward, and thus nominate myself for the position of vice president. So while I'm not relieved, I believe everybody here is equally qualified and equally talented. I'm one among y'all and I'm one for y'all. So that is also another way I would like to push myself. Also, as far as the leadership qualities are concerned, I am a little bit of nerd and also a little bit of a wanderer. I am a mix of both. And what I would like to ensure is that I bring in the expertise that I've gained through reading books, through being a part of NSS and other organizations such as BRM Youth, etc. Thank you.
Now I'll tell you the process. After the break, we'll take a 2-minute break in which you can go around and go around. In which you can go around and ask for votes in just 15 minutes of time.
Can we vote our friends here?
Obviously, you will also get your. Yeah, okay. You will get a card. So you have to put 5 names that you want to vote.
Proportional representation. Yes.
After 15 minutes of break, we distribute cards. We count the votes, and then we need to folks. You need to vote each and every person. Short and clear. Voting starts now.
आज नहीं मुझे पेपर है मेरे दो